floor.
What is it?
You just dropped your chewed out, spit out. No,
That's
don't
puke.
put it on the table.
That's puke.
Give it to my dog. He'll eat it.
Spenny.
He'll eat it. Hand it to him. Are you already live?
I feel bad.
This is what I deal with. He throws a fucking chewed up, nasty ass puke.
I feel bad giving Spenny puke.
Alright, if anybody knows what Bean Boozled is, it's my favorite thing in the world around Christmas time.
And
I
you
make
bet
my
that
85-year-old grandmother do it. I make my mama do it. I make all my best friends do it. I even make my dog do it.
You've been
Bean Boozled.
Yeah.
K-Dog got me this fucking sweet Bean Boozled game. It's like a coin machine. You really don't know what you're going to get. So
what you're hearing
is
now. New Year's
Eve
Eve about 5 years ago.
And I'm going to have this one, which could be
and me and Ray are
dog food
fucking
or chocolate
annihilated
pudding.
and both fat as fuck.
Cheers.
Even you're fucking thick.
Cheers. I'm pretty sure Ray's is either puke or...
The last one was puke. I'm hoping this one's Tutti Frutti.
I'm not sure what his is, to be totally honest with you. Oh, actually, that might be the new one. You know what that might be?
Puke.
That rotten fish.
That's rotten dick.
It might be.
That's what that says to that.
You gotta actually chew it for a minute.
I will chew the rotten dick.
No, you gotta chew it for a second, because here's the problem with some of these. Some of these, because you psych yourself out, you chew it the first bite, and it's weird.
Are we doing this at the same time or what?
Are we cheersing the beans?
Yeah, cheers that bean.
Oh, God.
Touch that bean
Mom,
with that
how
bean.
come you're not doing one?
Touch that bean with that bean. Boom.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What are you doing right now?
Eating Bean Boozled.
That's all.
We're eating nasty jelly beans.
Some of them taste like vomit. Some of them taste like dog food.
That's dog food. I don't like it.
I feel it could be key lime pie, but it turns to fucking rotten shit. About half a second in. So I got.
All right, one more while it's live. 2 more.
I gotta be out.
That's one.
Oh,
they're both blue.
That's like milky turd.
They're both blue. They're the same color. That's even better. This could either be toothpaste or berry. There's no bad choice
here. Milky turd in my mouth.
Oh, God.
I just love how you're
That's
saying
rotten.
it,
I got some
turd.
fishy eggs in my mouth.
I got dog food in my mouth.
One of you smells like poo.
Yeah, it's probably me because I didn't go to the bathroom.
Ready?
2 minutes ago.
3, 2, 1. It's either a minty fresh toothpaste or it's a berry.
All right, let's try it.
It's pretty funny.
Wait, that's toothpaste. I didn't brush my teeth that good today, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna roll with it.
Roll that one around.
Roll that one around.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Exactly. I feel minty fresh now. I'm just saying.
Mine's also toothpaste, so the problem is because of the terrible dog food taste, I couldn't tell what it was. I had no idea. So because we both kind of chickened out and got a pussy one, oh God. Oh God, there's no getting out of this one.
This is a callback. It's a couple years back.
It's probably
We need a chicken wing challenge soon too.
You pick one, and then my mom has to do one. There's 3 here. Come on.
Oh, you're so gross.
We're live on Facebook. We can't let the world down.
Yep, we can.
All right.
Ew.
Say hi to the world, Mom.
Hi, world.
What'd you get? What color? It looks like moldy cheese or popcorn.
I'm gonna let Karen take that one because I got crown.
Look at the crown. No, you gotta take this one.
No, I got crown.
Yeah, crown.
I'm gonna back out.
Yeah,
Or
but
like
it's
you had
3.
like your front of your teeth
crown.
fell out, and then you literally just pop it back in
God.
and keep it going.
Oh, Karen got dog poop.
No.
I don't want to know what it is.
No, moldy cheese.
Yeah, me.
I'm gonna put my tooth back in and pretend it never happened.
Fucking Ray loses his tooth. All right, guys, there we go. Oh, did Buffalo lose? No, they haven't even played yet today.
No, they're playing right now.
Okay, so technically, right now, because the Pats won, they're in first in this division. But if fucking Buffalo wins today, then they're tied again.
I got it.
Okay.
And Buffalo's still good.
No,
Not if Buffalo wins. They're first right now because Buffalo hasn't finished their game yet.
Good. Just
I thought they dropped to like 3rd or something.
No, so they're both tied for first place in this division. But the problem is now Buffalo has the tiebreakers because they each have one against each other, but Buffalo I think has all the wins against everybody else in this
Buffalo's
season.
gonna win this game.
Yeah, so the Pats are still going to be in wild card, which they should be. They should be able to clinch wild card. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Let's get this shit started.
Yeah. By the way, we're Three Dudes in Culver's podcast. That was just a little throwback to a couple years ago.
Who are you?
To a, I'm getting there. I'm Eddie Vegas.
There you go.
And
Settle
I'm
down, cocksucker.
Steve, a.k.a. Fork Tongue.
I'm Ray, other known as Dobby.
Fucking Ray over here. Fucking, I gotta get the announcements out. No, that was just a little thing. K-Dog sent me a couple of days yesterday. It was we played Bean Boozled a couple of years ago where the jelly beans look exactly the same. One can be like fruit punch and the other one's dog shit. You know, whatever the fuck it is.
Dirty socks.
Dirty socks or whatever it is. Yeah, it's a good time. It is a good time. We should probably do that live on the show sometime. Just because it'd be funny. Which, coming up...
We definitely had some. I don't think it was on the show, though.
Yeah.
I think you had to have those not that long ago.
Yeah, I think it
Maybe
was...
within the year.
I think like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
I think you just had it
I'm
out.
sure.
Yeah.
I used to have those all the time, so I'm sure that we can do it for the show sometime, just because we're bringing the regular show back anyway. So we're gonna start doing. It's the 2nd of January too, everybody. Just so you know, we're gonna date ourselves now, but we're trying to get this fucking steamship righted. But this should have been a couple weeks ago. But guys, I have an announcement to make. I'm a survivor. Cue the fucking Destiny Child song.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm a survivor. I'm a COVID survivor, guys. Just so you know. Survived it.
Was it life-changing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
No. Granted, I do realize that there's some luck in there, I guess. I don't want to underplay it or downplay it because I know some people that are pretty sick right now. And I know some people that recently have been pretty sick from this thing. I had essentially an inflated sinus infection. I had a sinus infection a month ago that was way worse than whatever the fuck is going on with me right now.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm over 2 weeks. I already been retested. I'm negative, blah, blah, blah. But I was sick for a couple days. Had a fever, really bad. It was about 103. Got checked out. Popped for the fucking vid. The nurse looked at me in horror when I told her that I wasn't vaccinated and that I was still somehow breathing, which I thought that was hilarious. She was like, you're not? I'm like, no, I'm not, but I'm fine. I make my decisions the way I make my decisions. All the stuff I've read, I talked to a couple doctors. I was in line to get the monoclonal antibodies. I talked to them about it. The day after I tested positive, I had no symptoms other than the fever and a little bit of body aches from that. And I had the first day was body aches and fever. Second day was a little bit of mental fatigue from the fever, being 103 for 8 hours, which isn't good for your brain no matter what you do. And then 2 days after that, I had a little bit of a dry cough for like an hour, like a couple hours, going to bed. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't the point where I was coughing and I couldn't sleep or anything. It just had like a kind of a cough. And then the next day I woke up and my nose was just super, super nasally. And that was it. I've had a nasal, but like my nose has never been plugged up. Like I can breathe fine. It just sounds like it's plugged up, which is really odd. I never lost taste, never lost smell, nothing else ever happened. And we're good now. So I stuck with my vitamin regimen. I bumped it up a little bit. Friend of the
If I
family.
lose my smell, the first thing I'm going to try and smell is a big pile of shit.
I mean, we can definitely make that happen for you, for sure. So just throwing it out there that, I mean, I take a ton of vitamin D. I upped my vitamin C for the past week and a half. I upped my zinc a little bit because I take zinc every day, 50 milligrams. I take... I got this vitamin, this thing, whatever, that's got quercetin in it. So I was taking quercetin. I bumped my vitamin D from 10,000 IUs to 15,000 IUs.
Is the quercetin something recommended? Because I haven't had that. It is.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Right along the same thing is like, what's the other one? Fucking... What would you bring up a little ago? You said lemon and something else?
Yeah, it's basically just a holistic version of hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
It's basically lemon and grapefruit, and you basically boil the rinds and make a tea out of the shit.
Yeah, hydroxychloroquine's a big one. Quercetin is another big one. Yeah. Zinc, it's all... Quercetin's more to prevent, but I took it because I had it, so...
Well, zinc is too. That's when you get a cold, you can take the fucking...
Zinc tablets and
zinc
shit.
tablets.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Yeah.
But I take it because of all this stuff for almost 2 years now. I've been taking 500 milligrams of zinc or whatever the fuck it is. I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every day with K2 also. It's got both in it because it helps. The K2 helps your bloodstream adapt to the vitamin D better. That's pretty much it. And again, I bumped up my vitamin C. So like, that's all I did. And I slept I slept a ton because I had nothing else to do. So I stayed away from everybody for the most part. I took 3 days off of drinking in caffeine, and that helped out. And then once I felt like I was in the clear, I started drinking whiskey, and whiskey got me through the next couple of days. And I mean, honestly, I felt fine as of like last week.
Yeah.
And I would have went back to work too if it was up to me. But
I mean, whiskey in itself is a fucking medicine.
it made me feel honestly great. I just was drinking straight up fucking Knob Creek.
It's a good fucking bottle for fucking $36, $40.
No, you got fucking $32. I got it was on sale at Liquor Warehouse, so $32. Yeah, 100 proof fucking Knob Creek, can't go wrong with it. So I had that for Christmas Eve, and then that was it, man. I mean, it just and it sucked is like we couldn't go, see like Kristen's family and stuff because obviously we don't want to be around anybody, and then I couldn't go see my nephews and shit. So like that shit like that kind of messed with
Same
my
with
head
me.
a
I
little
had
bit.
pneumonia. We didn't really do Christmas. Didn't want my grandmother to get sick. But my pneumonia was weird. My lungs didn't fill up. I didn't have trouble breathing. My cough, there was no mucus. I had a fever like 3 separate times, and then it would go away within like an hour. I'm not convinced I had pneumonia.
I already told you before the show. I'm convinced that you had what I had.
Yeah, and
I'm
I tested
like
I
100%
tested negative 4 times. So
Yeah.
Which very well. I mean, I've seen that happen before too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Your blood type or whatever might just fight things off different because you have a weird. You're kind of like me in an anomaly way. Like how I didn't do anything outside of the normal and I had no problems. Where I know people that fucking whatever your opinions are on all this shit going on. I know people that are fully prepared in their own ways that are different than my values,
AKA vaccinated.
AKA that thing, and get the B word recently, and they've been in bed for 2 weeks.
Yep, I
So-
know plenty myself.
Maybe I'm lucky, or maybe me going to the gym, 5-6 days a week. Maybe me fucking taking vitamin D every day and zinc every day. Like maybe the preventative stuff that I've done.
A shit ton of weed.
No, I think I'm not joking, dude. I told Kristen, I'm like, he's definitely a cockroach. Like between the booze that you keep going and there are some reports that weed smoke, because this thing it's a lung thing. The fact that you smoke and kind of keep your
My lungs.
you're always filled up with the
greased.
shit. Yeah, no, seriously. There are some reports that are indicating that if there's a chance that might help prevent it. Because me and you hung out fucking the same time when I went to a concert or whatever. I don't think it was from the concert. I think I either got it from Steve when he was here last week. The show before this, when you hear him coughing like a dry cough and he sounds nasally. I mean, you sounded exactly the same. You had worse symptoms than I did, but we had identical symptoms. I just fought them off faster, which. Whatever. I might just be different.
I just really had the cough. Like I never felt sick other than the short time.
The
that I had
fever and
fever.
the cough was the two things that me and you both had, and the nasal thing. Like
And the
as
nasal
soon-
thing.
Like because the way you
But I could blow my
sounded-
nose and get nothing.
That's what I'm getting. Me too.
Yeah.
Same thing. There's no snots or anything coming out. There's no mucus coming out. It's just my nose is fucking for whatever reason. It just sounds nasally.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, that's why I'm convinced that that's what you had. Whether you tested for or not, I don't know. But you also waited a couple days to get tested because I remember that we were gonna do a show and then we called it off 1 week, which was like a week before last time, which is now 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I waited I was sick on a Friday. I probably didn't get tested till like Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that.
Yeah, so by that point it might have already run its course.
Yeah.
So which whatever, like if I got it from Steve or if me and Steve just happen to get the same strain somehow, I don't
Now you
fucking
got to
care.
think anybody.
No, that's literally what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I've been dying to talk to you about it in person because I
Yeah.
wanted to say that to you. Like I'm happy that I got it and I have it out of the way. So like I don't have any. I mean a little like a real light like not pressure but like a little bit of a thing in my lungs, but nothing but like. It's not bad. Like it's no like I'm not short of breath or anything. I had one day where I was a little bit when I had the dry cough, but then I fought it off super fast. So whatever I did, hey man, do what you do. Here's the thing, and this is the issue with whatever's going on. We're gonna move this back to the music show in a second. I just wanted to talk about this because now I went through it, right? And I tested for this thing and everything else. Here's the deal. The way the world should be is you live your life the way you feel comfortable. If you think getting a shot is going to help you, then do it. If you don't, then don't. The same people that are going out and running out to get every booster shot still smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. What's going to kill you in the long run?
Yeah.
Maybe the fact that you live
Probably
like that
that
is going to
clogged
make
mask.
the fucking thing attack you
And
worse.
another probably good piece of advice: if you do feel sick, go get checked right away, like you did. I waited.
Yeah.
I didn't even start taking medicine till like Wednesday. So that was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, like 4 or 5 days. That's probably why my cough got so bad.
I mean, that's what, when I follow, because I tracked it in my head. You can go back and see our conversations, though, when you started not feeling good.
Yeah.
Like, it just made sense to me, because you can still, if you don't
Yeah.
fight it off in a certain way, you can infect people so long, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So, again, whether I got it from you or not, I don't know, but me and you had the exact same strain.
Whatever I got it from, I'm convinced it was from when we went to the cigar bar. Because I got sick. I was sick by Friday, and I hadn't been anywhere other than work, and I wasn't working
That makes
closely
sense.
with anyone. Yeah.
And, I mean, that was a confined area, so there's a very good chance that could have been it.
Yep.
Somebody there might have had it, one of those old dudes, who knows?
Yeah.
Thing is here's the problem, is if all you have is like a sinus infection, like I'm telling you, dude, like other than if the only reason why I even got checked out is because I don't get fevers. No matter
me
how
too.
bad
That's the only reason I bothered.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. So when you told me you had a fever, I was like, that's fucking weird, because I know me and you are the same. We both temp real low.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, you can ask my wife, my mom, like, no matter how sick I am, I never break 99. Like, and that's high. Like,
I even
that's
went
hot.
low the first time. Well, not the first time, but at one point it was like 96, and I always run 98.6. It was low, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then it was high.
No joke. The next day after I went and got so I had 103 fever when I went to the doctors.
Yeah.
When I woke up in the morning, I was 100% fine. By the way, 100% fine. Like I started feeling sick at work.
Yep.
I got an
How do
at-home
you
test.
take your thermometer, by the way?
Oh, rectally, clearly.
All right, just making sure.
No, I have a fucking digital one. You dipshit. No, but what a dick. So I by the time I got home that night, my temperature went from 103 while I was at the doctor's. I felt better by the time I was driving home. Like I was like sweating it out. Mm-hmm. By 9 o'clock that night, I was down to 99. So I was like, I'm in the clear. I'm good. I woke up the next day. I was 96.2 or something. Like, and it never got any higher than 98 again.
Yep.
So it's just. Look, man, again, all I want to say is this is almost like a little service announcement kind of thing, because I had it. I proved that I got through it, no problem. You do whatever you believe is going to be beneficial for you. I have zero, if I did get it from that concert, I have zero regrets, because, oh no, I got a fucking sinus infection for a week.
Yeah.
If I didn't go to get checked out, I never would have fucking known that I was sick. That's the thing. Like,
I
you know
wish
what I mean?
people would just be honest about the risks. with
Right.
the
That's
vaccine.
what I'm getting at.
Nobody's honest about it.
Nope.
If you want to take it, take it. Just know there is a risk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and well, there's more and more reports coming out about that. They're not going to
What did I see? Something about a pilot today, fucking taking the fucking booster shot and then fucking basically having a heart attack.
I've heard a lot of that with the recent booster shots. Yeah.
I've heard
having strokes within like 10 minutes.
Yep. I've seen a lot of
Shit
people
like
getting
that.
very, very sick.
You never hear about that though.
No.
You know, that's very hush hush. But just go out and take it.
It just needs to get to a point now where like that dude that was on Rogan, Maloney or whatever the other day. I really hope some of those clips go viral, and I really do hope that some people actually listen to that man.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
It's fucking. It's one of the most important ones he's ever done.
Yeah.
Because the guy is the most honest guy about it you'll ever fucking hear. He tested positive for it twice. He's an older guy. He's the inventor of the mRNA technology. So the vaccine that everybody's getting, they're calling a vaccine. It's not actually a vaccine. Everybody, it's a gene therapy.
Yeah.
But they changed the fucking definition of what a vaccine is for this thing, so people fucking can go and tell you that you're.
If doctors
Whatever.
and nurses are quitting their jobs, refusing to fucking get it because they see what's going on, you know.
But it's not even that though. It's also because they don't want to be like the thing. Here's what people aren't getting. Like, so a dude that I've been following for a long time, a bodybuilder, Mark Lobliner, was on Tim Pool the other day. I was hoping you guys were going to see it because I've been following that dude forever. And like, I'm pretty sure he's vaccinated. I'm pretty sure his kids are too. But his issue is don't force people to do things.
Yeah.
And
I 100% agree.
He's got a product. He's got all kinds of fucking stuff, supplement products.
More
everything else.
people would go out and take it
If you
if
didn't,
you
yeah,
didn't force it.
yeah. And even then,
Legitimately, people would go out and take it. You would have a better chance at getting people to take it if you weren't fucking forcing it down their throat.
that's the biggest issue that I have with it.
Yeah.
100%. And whether my personal views on it or not, my personal views is
It would fit their weird
against
agenda
forcing people.
of getting people to get it if they just fucking let people do it on their own terms.
yep. But hey, what do I know, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to at least get that out of the way. Yeah, go check out that episode. What's his name? Robert Malone.
Malone. Yep.
That was a couple days ago on Rogan. I know Rogan's a meme these days because the youth of today has some kind of weird problem with him because he's different than what they are. Whatever. that episode was a phenomenal episode. Can't argue with scientists. So, and then that Mark Lobliner episode was great because Lobliner was Kroger, which is like our version of Market Basket, like out in the Midwest.
Yep.
He pulled his products from there because they're forcing all their employees to get the vaccine. So he pulled, and he's like, I'm losing at least $4 million.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't morally like take money over something that I don't think is right.
I think Rogan canceled the show because of the same thing.
Yeah,
recently.
he canceled going to Canada.
Yeah, but a little bit different. The way Poole made it seem is different than what Rogan actually said on his podcast about it. To be honest with you, like
Rogan was more like, I'm not getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
and I'm glad that he said that. The way he said it, he's like, I'm pretty sure I can't even get into the country, so there's no point in me pushing it forward.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not getting it. He goes, I
That
have
was a
antibodies. I
touchdown.
feel fine.
That was a touchdown.
I agree. That was a touchdown. But anyway, so whether you like Rogan or not, that was a phenomenal episode. And I wish that people just... That's the thing that I think people need to see about him is he's an inquisitive guy. He's just trying to give people a platform to talk.
Well, people
He'd let
just
people
need
on the
to
other side
stop.
of it talk too. But
They just need to stop worrying about him and worry about the information that's being presented.
I think they need to worry more about CNN.
well, no shit.
But like, if you don't like Rogan, he's still having doctors and scientists on talking about this that maybe have a different viewpoint than you, but at least you're getting a different viewpoint than the typical shit.
Well, that's what's scary about the way the world is right
They
now.
don't
is
want a typical.
Oh
they
no,
don't want
they
another
want a
viewpoint.
one-way narrative.
They're a one-way narrative. And for whatever reason, whether it's greed, whether it's what I mean, hey man, follow the fucking money. It's funny how back in the '90s,
Touchdown.
his elbow might have been down, man.
Steve,
That's
did you see
close.
that Alex Jones trying to drop dirt on Trump because of the
good.
vaccination issue?
Good.
Excuse me. I heard something about that, but I don't know.
Yeah, he basically said because Trump was all about it, and Trump said even about Biden. Now that Biden's gave Trump like praise for the vaccine, he's like, I can't even say anything bad about Biden anymore. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And he's telling people to go out and get it, and all the people that are going
How
to
can
see
you
him
not
are
say
booing
you
and
can't
shit.
say anything bad about the guy?
well, yeah,
Because all he wants
Yeah,
is praise. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
Because he's fucking Trump.
yeah, and well, now what he's trying to do, he's trying to butter his way into fucking getting votes that he wouldn't have gotten if he didn't do that.
Yeah, but it's turning the people who like him against him, so he's losing more
That
votes.
was a stupid move.
all the people, like, he's doing this at his rallies and shit,
Yeah.
and everyone's booing him because of it. So hey,
Well, I mean, the man's not a politician. There you go.
well, yeah,
That's the
that's
same
true.
reason why everybody likes him.
That's
like,
true.
I'm just
Very
let's
true.
just be honest. Like,
Yeah.
the guy's not a fucking politician.
being honest.
The reason why everybody liked him in the first place is because he was the one person that could talk different than everybody else because he's not a career politician.
I'd rather
and
see
that's
DeSantis
what he's doing.
now. I don't know.
Oh, I've been saying that for a while. I would never have wanted Trump back in.
Yeah.
I didn't want him voted in the first place. The guy's a fucking douche. Like I liked him better than the other option that's in there now. But we
Fucking, we
I'm
could
a
have had
fucking
Kanye.
well, that's a whole different story.
I don't know anything else about DeSantis other than how he's been running shit. With
I've seen
vaccine,
him.
So
I've seen him speak against like the mandates and things like that, and the fact that he's got the balls to even do that. I'd back him. I mean, look, dude. Look at the economy, right? Look at the thriving economy that fucking he's got going on in Florida. Florida's a bunch of cuckoo birds, right? But like, hey man, he's doing something right.
If you listen to the news, Biden's economy is thriving too.
Yeah, well, that's a fucking. There's differences between what they're trying to pump you full of and fucking. Although at the same time, every fucking news article, doesn't matter what facet it is, the news articles are all fucking showing that is rates or what it is, approval rates are way down, and all of his own people are bailing on him, and all this other bullshit.
Oh yeah, the news makes it seem like he's doing a great job, but his approval keeps going down because obviously people are seeing through that.
Hey
Which
man,
is a good sign.
inflation's fucking.
That's the only reason the economy's anywhere near good because everything's so fucking overpriced.
But that's also what's gonna make it fucking crash.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna happen real soon, and it's gonna be fucking.
It's not gonna be pretty.
No, it's gonna be real bad,
We already
real
have
fucking fast.
supply chain issues and shit.
It's gonna be
I'm doing
fucking.
air quotes.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be ugly.
Yes, sir.
UGLY, bro. It's gonna be fucking ugly. And with the housing the way it is and shit too. I don't know how anybody's affording these houses, dude. It's fucking insane.
What's going on? Wasn't it just 4th and goal? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it was a flag.
Oh, okay.
There was a flag. They didn't call it a touchdown because his elbow was down.
Motherfuckers. I have a receiver on this team. I needed a touchdown from him.
Yeah, they're gonna just go with the easy win. I don't blame them. Take the easy win. Fuck Kansas City. All right. Well, we should probably get going. All right. So here's what we're doing. We're wrapping up. We have to talk about some stuff, and that got us talking about fucking nonsense that I didn't want to get into. The way Ray just shit his pants is the way I feel about talking about fucking politics nowadays. I'm so sick of it.
Hey, it's gonna happen. We're coming up with regular shows. We're gonna be talking about it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, what's nice though is because we're 2 years essentially removed since the regular shows kind of went nothing but politics because that's all we had to talk about for a while. Now, what's nice is we can go back to talking about TV shows because they're back. Like TV shows and movies and stuff are back. There was a year and a half we didn't really have anything. Yeah. So like there was nothing for us that we didn't have concerts.
A lot of the stuff coming out now, music or TV or movies, was supposed to come out last year.
Mm-hmm. So it's here, man. If you even walk around, like I was telling him on New Year's Eve, if you go into like Davis Market, everybody's wearing masks in there. You go to the liquor store, nobody's got them on. Like, it just goes to show you where everybody's fucking worries are.
I just throw them. I throw them on. Even just I don't want to fucking deal with it until with the mandate. I'll throw it on. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm doing it just to fucking not deal with it.
I did
right,
it.
Exactly.
You know, I got a mask on me 90% of the time. I was just telling him, though, the other day, I went to Stop and Shop, and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot my mask. I said, well, I'm going to go in here fucking fly high.
I see way more people without them
I was like the
around.
only one in there without a mask, but I'm like, if they tell me to fucking go, I'll go. I'll say, guess what? I'll leave my cot right here. I'll go fucking shop it somewhere else.
Dude, people are fucking over it. Fuck, man, we went to that concert fucking 2 weeks ago. The whole fucking place.
No, I love it. Well,
Nobody
we
gives a
already
fuck.
talked about it, but it's like, you can't come in unless you go to the front and get a mask. So
Then as soon as you walk in,
get a mask and then you take it off.
every fucking person there, 3,000 people took one. Like, anyways, so we should tell the people what they're strapping in for. This is the final
5 through 1.
This is the final episode of the countdown, the top 10 countdown for 2021. This was supposed to technically be recorded last week, and it would have fit our timeline, but it is what it is. And then after this is episode 76.
72.
Is
it 76?
76, yeah. 75. No. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 through 1. We're going to do 2 each like we did last week. It'll be like 2, 2, 2. So you're going to hear a block of 6 songs, so it moves a little bit quicker.
2, 2, 2.
We're going to break those down. We're going to do another block of 6 songs, 2, 2, 2, and then we're going to do our number ones because we each listen to our number one albums and review them essentially. So when we play a number one, we're going to just do the album review right there, and then we'll try to like move it as quick as possible, so we're not just boring you. Depending on how long we go, even though we just had a little bit of a monologue at the beginning, we might even do. We might as well even touch on fucking.
Yeah, we could probably do that. That'll probably be pretty quick. We're not going to be playing songs.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Do some honorable mentions. Yeah. So we'll talk our honorable mentions today. We'll each talk about a couple of albums that we fucking want to give shout outs to, and then we're moving on with this year. We're gonna move on and get going with doing regular shows. So after today, we're gonna every other week. You're only gonna get a music show every other week from now on, for a while, anyways. You know, as long as we can keep doing it. But I'd like to start getting guests back on. I'd like to start seeing some new people. I'd like to just go back to having some stupid fucking fun watching fights and stuff. Which we can do that with these, but it's also I think gonna help us build up some fucking music again too, because it's gotten stale because. If you're playing everything as soon as it comes out, you know, and it all sounds like the same shit, at least it'll give you a little bit more time, and it'll be a little bit harder to fucking, what do I want to play this week now versus, oh man, I gotta find something to play. Right. You know?
Plus, between your honorable mentions and a bunch of other stuff, you have a catalog to fucking pick at. You know?
Oh yeah, I still have stuff I've never fucking.
Yeah.
I barely even touched this year. I'm still finding albums that I've never heard of.
Me too.
It's crazy. I'm still finding shit.
I'm finding stuff that came out like the fucking 3rd week of December. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep, and it's just gonna keep on going. And then also concerts are coming back, man. There's actually that Living Wreckage band that I like. Obviously, the dudes from Shadows Fall. They're playing a show in Mass in a couple weeks. I was gonna bring up to you guys. Might as well just bring it up now. It's them and Trendkill. So I don't know if you guys are interested.
I've never seen Trendkill. I've been honestly interested
I saw
to see
them
them
once
a
at
while
like Mardi Gras.
Yeah, me too.
I've missed them a couple times where they played at Rocky Point Pub when it was still a thing.
Yeah.
I just figure like if I'm gonna look at what the date is. I think it's in February. If it's a little bit of a drive, but if there's nothing else going on, what the fuck?
Why were they playing?
It's them and Living Wreckage, that band we.
Where is it at?
I think somewhere in Mass. They're from Western Mass, so it's a little bit of a drive. It's probably gonna be out like towards Worcester, but like not Worcester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I don't give a fuck. I want to. I'm telling you right now, the one thing that changed my year from being a shit year to like an okay year
Live music.
was live music. If I didn't have live music last year, I would have thrown myself off a bridge. Because even though it was in some ways better than the year prior, because 2020, let's just all be honest, that was essentially a real life fucking Thanos blip from the Marvel movies. Nobody wants to remember that year. 21 wasn't much better. A lot of 21 fucking sucked.
Yeah,
The first
I feel
6
like
months
21
sucked.
might have been a little worse.
In some ways it was, because
I
it
thought
was
21 was.
it
Like,
was a
come
lot
on,
more.
It's like you're taking advantage of this shit now.
Well,
What the
that's
fuck?
and it also was a lot more argumentative because of all the bullshit. So like, by the summertime, it got a little bit better, and then that's when live shows started coming back and things like that. So the second half of the year was okay, it redeemed itself a little bit, but it was not a great year. Anyways, let's move on. Whoever wants to go first, because more than one will go first. I don't give a fuck.
Don't matter to me.
I'll go. I haven't gone first in a while.
Yeah, go for it. Then what would be? It'll be Ray, then me, and I'm gonna have to take fucking notes now too. Holy shit.
All right.
Man, there's gonna be a lot of notes. Holy shit! I wrote notes for all of your songs too.
I have a good amount of notes on this one, on this feed.
Yep, same.
All right.
All right, buckle in, boys.
You guys are
Also, I will forewarn you now. There's a good chance you're all gonna hate every single song I play today. So I can't wait. So just throwing it out there.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably a good chance you're gonna hate at least one right here.
Yeah, can't wait. Why is the fucking the top 5 gonna be so rough? I was already like figuring it out the other day. All right, enough. Let's move on.
Here we go.
says money can't buy happiness, and so far in my life I'll agree. But it seems a lot more comfortable to cry in a Lamborghini. But one day while you're driving down the 5, the earth splits open and all of us die. At least we're all together, and this time it's forever. And all we have to pass the time is you and them and me and the reckoning. You might get to sleep forever in a 24-karat casket, covered up in dirt from a place you can't pronounce. A headstone so big even astronauts can see. The only thing you'll never get to die with is dignity. We're sitting on a bench, and we know the bird above us is gonna, Well, some days we move, but others we just yell. Just go ahead, everyone else does. And I think I'd rather have bad luck than have no luck at all. I'd rather be alive than half a dozen feet below. And things will never go back to the way they were before. I don't think this world wants us on it anymore. I don't think this world wants us on it anymore. Cup of tea. Some of us prefer a little whiskey, but it's your life. You're the only one that has to lose it. And we might never get to see inside a 24-karat casket. Hopefully we had a damn good life while we had it. A headstone so small no one will ever read. But hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll die with dignity.
Well, there we go.
There you go, little honky tonk.
That might have been the biggest mix of music we've had in a while.
Yeah.
And I decided to, because football's not on anymore on this app, which sucks, it only plays whatever the local shit is, to just throw on some Shawn Michaels classics, because why not? Why not? So,
I don't think I'll be disappointed in any lockups.
No, that's for sure. No, I was watching, Ray's got this Peacock right now, so I've been WWE Network's on there now.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't have this shit.
Yeah.
So I've been utilizing it. I do remember when I had the, whatever it was, the network before, I was getting into I like when they do like documentary series, And they were doing that Ruthless Aggression series or whatever.
Yeah, they put out that's like a season 2 of it, I believe.
That's what I was watching. And it got me, they did Michael's, like, when his comeback. That was, personally, that was my overall favorite era of wrestling. Like the early, I would say like 2001 to like 2005-ish or 4, right around. Like I only watched for like, I watched a lot in those 4 or 5 years there.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy version 2.0 and fucking all that shit. Like I liked a lot of that era when like the invasion happened on. I don't know, I really enjoyed a lot of that.
I think I didn't like a lot of that, but I think a lot of that was coming off the Attitude Era. I think going back and watching it, there's probably a lot more good stuff than I thought.
If you think about who like came out of that era.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest.
Oh,
Literally,
the
every
roster's
fucking.
ridiculous.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best that wrestling probably ever was. Realistically, when you go back and look at it, like
Yeah.
like they were doing the episode where they were talking about OVW, and like fucking Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Batista, Randy Orton,
Cena.
John Cena, all were there at the same time.
Yep.
Just go over the back.
I don't want to climb over Svenny. So.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's fucking insane. And then Michael's comeback, like you forget how fucking good that was. You forget every match he
He was
had.
better when he came back.
Way better.
Before he left.
Yeah, you were fucking
That's
amazing.
with doing nothing for how many years?
That was Ray, by the way, everybody.
Sorry,
Probably tell.
fellas.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, I should have muted you while you did that.
It's all right. It is what it is. It's doobies. So Ray, we're just gonna watch some classic Shawn Michaels because
I don't mind Shawn Michaels, to tell you the truth.
no, I figured this old all
Like
this
I
old
told
shit-
you already, I like some of the old wrestling.
Yeah.
It was around WrestleMania, whatever, 9, the one with fucking Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon,
was
the
10.
ladder match.
I think that
Close.
was 10.
I was close, but that's like my breaking point with wrestling.
Well, this is the fucking Iron Man match
Yeah.
with Brett Michaels. This is not Brett.
Now that I got
Jesus Christ,
either
Bret Hart.
Peacock,
Thanks, yeah.
I think Peacock, I'm
That's what
gonna
this is.
actually go back and start watching some old wrestling.
That's
to
what
tell you
this
the
is.
truth.
That's what I was
figured-
just talking
I
about.
figured you would get a little fucking
Yeah.
They have
little
real
jump
old
on
stuff
that.
too.
Well,
like
that's what I mean.
70s
I want to
and
watch
80s
like
and
the
shit.
'70s shit.
Yeah.
Like, I
Dude,
wanna
all that
watch some
shit's
of
amazing.
Yeah.
Go back and watch some fucking old Ric Flair stuff.
That's
you
what I
realize
want
how
to
good
watch
he
is like the old Vader shit, the old Sergeant Slaughter shit. Like I
Yeah.
want to watch like the old shit.
Well, that's not 70. Well, Slaughter is, but Vader's not. Vader's 80s and 90s. But even like that's the thing. If you go back and watch, or like go back and watch
I
some
respect
old
the
Bam
older
Bam
shit,
Bigelow
the
or-
new shit when like The Rock came about. Sorry guys, that's where I fucking cut the fucking rope.
He has some good shit though. That wasn't your era. But if you go back and watch some of his matches, you can like they were showing some of when he turned into like Hollywood Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
When he went heel finally, like that was some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
I have to pee real quick and then we can get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it. Sorry guys.
Steve, you fucking you got me when you said you guys aren't gonna like this. So when you said that, I thought you were gonna be playing like a 13-minute song. So in my head, I'm like sitting here like, oh fuck. So by the time I got through that, I'm thinking it broke where it kind of got a little bit where there was more of a melody or there was more
Yeah,
of a
like
groove.
the first song, it was kind of like there was like a little, you could hear it kind of slowing down.
Yeah.
And then the other song came into like an acoustic guitar or something.
Yeah, like I said, there was more of a groove or there was more of something going on.
I
So
figured
I get that, but I thought that was maybe that was like a nuance or like they were going
I
different
figured you would have
sections of the
picked up
songs.
on it because the first song sounded like it was recorded in a fucking,
Like a basement. Yeah.
basement.
Because part of my notes is on like the first half is lo-fi and then
and
it's
the
like,
second one was like normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I mean, I'm sure you can differentiate in your
Yeah,
head now if you gotta change your notes around or whatever.
Yeah. It's pretty much, I want to say, the first track was what, like 3 minutes?
No, like 6.
Really?
They were both like 6. Yeah.
Really? It didn't seem that long.
Yep. They were both. I think both like 6.5 minutes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. That's funny though. I've done that before too. I mean, we did it a couple weeks ago, but I thought that one was pretty obvious.
Homeboy is smoking some fucking real good shit. He thought those two were the same song.
I went light on the sauce today, too.
Doesn't
You
show
wanna,
it.
You want to start it? You want me to?
Oh, you can go first. Or do you want me to do it? Because you can't tell the difference.
It
between
don't
the two
matter.
songs.
It'll be interesting to see what I wrote down and where you think the notes kind of break.
Yep.
So,
Actually, yeah, let's do that first. I can tell you right now with it.
So I put some weird lo-fi black metal, some tremolo bass, weird time switch, basses in the highlight in the background for me, keeping it together. Turned spacey, like the breakdown into a mellow section. So I think this is where it kind of almost maybe switched. Strong percussion in the back, straight back into chaos, like the mix between heavy and light notes. Has a prog element mixed in. So I'm reading all my notes right now.
Yep.
Mixed with black and death metal towards the end.
I
So
think
I gave
your
the
notes-
second half of this 2.75. I'm going to give the first half of where I think it kind of switches. I'm going to give a 2.25.
Okay.
All right. So Steve's first song, I put "Oof." Dirty old school black metal. Some cool old horror movie keys in the background, but otherwise, yuck. This is that production that sounds like the band is playing in a basement and the recording mics are 2 floors above it. Although the bass player showed up at least.
That
Yeah.
was a highlight for me, the bass. I like that dirty bass.
It's the only thing you could hear in that first song. Everything else was like fucking
Mud.
It was oof.
But it was intentional.
Yeah, I haven't given fucking Steve a stinker of a score in a while, but man, did you deserve it on this one. That's just not my kind of music. We've gone over that.
Yeah,
I
don't that.
Yeah, and again, I already warned you guys ahead of time. A good chunk of whatever I'm playing today, you're probably not gonna like, or even I played like one last week that fucking everybody shit on. Like, I don't care. It's top 10 at this point, but I haven't had one where I was like woof in a while where I couldn't even I just couldn't do it.
Yep.
It's a 1.5. I struggled to even get it past the 1, to be honest with you. But the fact that like I actually got it, I found it comical. Gave it the extra 0.5 because it's just that kind of music to me is just it's inaudible. Like I don't understand. Especially with most of what I listen to being kind of polished production-wise.
Yeah.
Like, I can do dirty, but I can't fucking do, like, unmanageable.
That's extremely dirty.
Like, that makes Mortician sound palatable. Yeah. You know? Like, let's just be real.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Here's
right.
the first
this
song, at least.
is Usta Lost, which, believe it or not, is a band from Brooklyn.
Okay.
That does not sound like they would be from New York at all.
Nope.
Name of the track is Enough Glass Will Cast a Shadow. Name of the album is Before the Glinting Spell Unvests.
Now, the real question is, how would you spell Usta Lost?
Just how it sounds. USTA Lost. LOST.
All right. Usta Lost.
This actually, I didn't want to do this because it knocks. I actually had Wolves in the Throne Room as my number 5. And then this came out on like the 17th. And I was like, I'm going to take Wolves in the Throne Room off because I like this so much.
I did something similar.
I mean, if we were to do 6 through 10 again, I'd probably just knock down Wolves in the Throne Room into my 6 to 10. But seeing as we're going to do honorable mentions, I will just say that now. They will be in my honorable mentions, Wolves in the Throne Room.
Cool.
Haven't had a lot of time with this one since it just came out, but I like the dirty atmosphere, especially with it's so weird. Like the bass lines are weird. They don't sound normal. There's a lot of like janky guitars that don't sound normal either.
It reminds me of an unpolished. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Cold, KHLOLD.
I'm familiar with the name.
The
I don't
bass
really know them,
is very like distinct, but it's just like they've got their own sound. It's because of the bass, and that's what it kind of reminded me of, an unpolished kind of Cold.
Yeah, unpolished on purpose.
Yeah.
And then it just creates a weird atmosphere because the guitars are kind of janky sounding and like almost like too loose or something. I don't know. Something weird with them. But yeah, song number 2, whoever wants to go next.
He read both of his in one shot. So I put I know this. I can't put my finger on it, but I definitely know I've heard this recently too. It like really upset me that I couldn't fucking nail it exactly what this was.
Yeah.
I know this though.
You do.
The production compared to the last song is night and day. This is bright, powerful, and everything is shining through. I want to say this is Wolf King.
Yes.
All right. So I figured it out by the end. Yeah, this is a fun album. I heard this album real early on, and then I lost it for a while because I so much an explosion of albums came out this year.
Yeah, we both played something off it earlier.
Early, yeah. Jesus Christ, if I didn't already have 50 other albums that I needed to talk about, this would probably be like in an honorable mentions category.
Yeah.
This was in my top when we did the half-year review. This was in my top of that. It's just been a while since I've listened to it, but I thought that's what it was, so I'm glad I at least fucking remembered what it was. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Wolf King, when we did the half-year review, this was number 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
So like I did like this album a lot early on, but so many other things came out since
Yeah, the
then.
second half of the year was crazy.
It was insane. And like then when you start actually going, that's just with stuff that you know,
Right.
or that maybe have come across your bow. And then when you start looking into like listening to other people's lists, then you're like, what the fuck, man? There's just I got bombarded.
I'm gonna be going through people's lists for a while because I just keep finding.
That's
stuff.
a good way to fucking
Yeah.
to
I always do. I've been doing that for years. Go through people's.
I got out of it for a little bit, especially last year because nothing really came out. I mean, things came out in 2020, but it wasn't like it is right now.
Right.
So I got back into that.
For me. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's fine. I actually might even need to move this further up, but we're fine for now. Yeah, so Wolf King, I've talked about the album early on. Steve's talked about the album early on. I'm glad it.
Would you give that?
Put on. I gave that one a. Bear with me a second. Let me find what the fuck it is. I gave that song a 2.5. So I like that song.
I gave that a 2.75, so that makes a list.
Yes, that one would make the list. That's a great album. You brought up a good point when we were talking about. We mean to talk about it a couple weeks ago. You might have played a song off it or something, but you have to be in the mood for that album.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, you can't. It's not something you can just throw on.
No. There's a couple songs where I can listen to, but like that album just puts me in a mood that I don't necessarily want to be in.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's not bad. It's
No,
great. The
yeah.
fact that it made, what is that? You're 4?
4, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking high up there.
Yeah.
It is a good album. I'm honestly surprised that really didn't make much of a dent in you.
Yeah, I've heard it before. I've actually looked into it, but I've only seen it through like YouTube videos where I listened to it for like a few songs here and there, and I never really went back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I just never really went back to it.
Yeah.
It came out kind of early on though too. I feel
it
like
did.
it came out like March
Kind
or
of got lost in
April.
the shuffle a little bit for a lot of the year. For me.
Yeah, for me. Because I did give that one a re-listen when I started putting my top 10
I
together.
honestly forgot about it because it might have hit my list if I actually listened to the album again.
Oh, if you go and listen to the album, it'll I think
Yeah.
it would end up in at least your honorable mentions. It'd make it your top 20
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I like that album a lot too. So I'm glad I remembered what it was. It took me a minute. The whole time I was sitting here, then like I had to go back and look at my list of albums that came out this year, and I'm like, no, that was early on.
Yeah.
Like I just re-listened to it not too long ago. So yeah, we had more crossover this year than we've ever had.
Yeah.
Like as far as like what we've both talked about. So that's pretty impressive. Kind of weird how this world's going. All right, go with little fucking doobies here. Go ahead, Steve.
All right, guitar has lots of fuzz, but it's not stoner riffs. Good vocals, sounds foreign, like he's in another language. Very memorable chorus melody. Bridge took a little bit long, but the big riff and bluesy solo was a good payoff. I gave this a 3.
nice.
Cool. It was a bummer that this was such low production early on, but we ended up adjusting it a little bit, so it was a little bit more pronounced, luckily.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that's the only down note I have about it. It has some fuzzy stoner metal feels to it, like a lot of the riffs. It has some hints of heavier Mastodon stuff, like when they go heavy. Like this kind of reminded me of that. Singer has a really good range too, and the pacing is solid in this one. Great solo section. I gave this a 2.75.
Cool.
This is a cool song.
This is Wolves in Haze. This is semi-new to me. This came out on September 3rd. Solid album, in my opinion. I would check it out if you're into it.
Yeah, never heard of them before.
Yeah, they came across my hunt, so.
What is
they
it,
made
Wolves
those.
in Haze?
Wolves in Haze.
In Haze.
Yep, and that's actually the title track for the album that I played.
Cool. That song will get put in a list too. I gotta update my. I'm gonna do all of them at one time.
Yeah, I just did mine from last show, just before we started. All right, song number 2.
Yeah.
All right, Ray comes with the power metal. Great chorus riff. Vocals are really good, just something I gotta be in the mood for. Great typical power metal solos throughout the whole thing. Not a lot of notes because it's a pretty straightforward kind of power metal song, but a good song. I gave it a 2.6.
Cool.
But starts off fast and heavy with some dueling guitars and double bass. Vocals are a little whimsical and a little too Bruce Dickinson for my liking, but I'm okay with it so far. And then when he started hitting his highs, he won me over.
That's when it won me over too.
Yeah, the regular voice I thought was okay.
When he started doing the little King Diamond.
Yeah, the highs were pretty good.
Yeah.
That section was great, and honestly, the production value of this one, especially compared to the first song that you played, is like night and day. Just like what happened with Steve.
Yeah.
I almost thought this was KK's Priest at one point because of how well this was produced. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's not Ripper. Like, it sounds close, but it's not. So I'm wondering if this is like Power Wolf
I'm
or
wondering if
something
it's
like that.
Halloween or something.
Halloween put out an album this year, except put out an album.
It's on a lot of lists too. That's why that came to
So
mind.
I'm in, something like that, because a lot of old school bands put out shit this
Yeah.
year. So this is up there with that stuff. So I feel like we're in the wheelhouse of what that would be. Yeah, as far as throwback metal albums go, this is fucking great. This year was a big boom for that kind of stuff too. So 2.8 for me. This is a great song.
This is Don't Spare the Wicked by Fortress. I've never really got into Fortress before, but I listened to this album and it reminded me of some of the classical guitar on it with like the speed metal and shit, kind of like cacophony. It fucking blew me away and it made my number 4.
I feel like I just heard the name of this band like within the last day or two somewhere. Fortress.
Yeah, their popular song is their title, well, not the title track, the opening track, Lost Forever. I don't know if you've heard that. That's pretty popular.
No, I
on
haven't.
YouTube.
I've definitely seen the name within the last day or two.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out because I've never heard of that band. That or I have, and it just never really came back across my bow. But.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's see. My number 5. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ray.
All right, let me go back to my list. I was just on Spotify. Eds. Here we go. Don't mind the music. I didn't take too many notes, but the guy's voice is hard on the ears. I gave this a 1.9. Like I said, the music didn't really bother me too much, but that guy's voice fucking was like, what the fuck? Personally.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how upsetting that is to you.
Not upsetting, but you know what I mean.
I could see it in your
Yeah.
face while you were watching it, listening to it. It was making me so happy. Like, you have no idea how much joy I'm getting out of this with all the shit you've had to fucking force me to listen to. Go ahead, Steve.
I like how it opened up. There was a little atmospheric tinge in the background of everything that was going on behind the riff. Believe it or not, I really like the vocals.
Wow.
Screechy, which is not something I normally like, but they weren't whiny. They were aggressive. There was a nasty bass line in there, nasty guitar tone. Breakdown was a little generic, but that can be forgiven. Not sure why I like this so much, but I gave this a 3, believe it or not.
Wow.
It's too low on his score to get it up there for me, but what's funny about this is Steve is an anomaly.
Yeah.
Okay?
You knew what I was going to get out of it, right?
No, but you've when I play this band for you when you're drunk, you fucking rave about them.
Yeah.
Every time I show you this band. Steve has heard this a few times now too, and it's like every other time you hear them, you give them a super high note or you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me because I played a song off this a couple months ago, and you were like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck it is about this. I can't stand it."
Must have been Edible Steve.
No, it was we were outside. We were outside. Whatever it was, you gave it like a 1 point something, and I'm like, "Wow, that's so weird." Because no, this is not loose. Close though. So it's
not loose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard something else from them recently, and I fucking hated the vocals.
I think it's a setting thing for them.
Maybe
it's so here's the deal. I love Brian Garris's vocals. It's raw. It's original. There aren't a lot of guys that sound like that, whether you like them or not. They are definitely an original hardcore band as far as that goes. They do a lot of the chuggy stuff, but there's something about how fucking heavy they are, with how simple it is. But there's so much shit going on in the background.
Yeah.
I would bet I can tell you what it is about the vocals that sometimes I like and sometimes I don't.
There's a bark. That's I thought you were gonna think that it was fucking Kublai Khan because you like that dude. And that guy's he's a lot heavier.
It's a deeper,
though. He's way more of a
If it was more low for me, I think I would have been like, okay, I can be on.
He's doing the screechy thing, but there's a screechy thing that guys do where they kind of there's a break in their voice where it sounds like
he sounds like he's in pain.
But this he didn't. There was no break in the voice where it sounded like it makes it sound whiny when there's that break.
Oh yeah, no. This guy sounds like he's miserable. Like he sounds like fucking. He does not sound like he's having a good time.
Sometimes I've heard it and I'm like, oh man, it just sounds too whiny to me. But this didn't, because there's almost like a crack in the voice that I don't like. But that didn't happen in this. That's just why I think I liked it.
Yeah, so this is Knocked Loose. This is their. This is the first time an EP has made my top 10 list. This EP is 6 songs long. It's 30-something minutes long. So here's why I decided to finally put an EP on here. A couple of reasons why. A, both of your albums were 6 songs long.
Yeah.
Steve's was 45 minutes long. Ray's was only 30-something minutes long.
35.
Yeah. So how is your album a full album?
Yeah.
But this is only an EP. I don't understand where they come up with
I
that.
think they just call it whatever they want to call it.
I just can't figure. I really can't figure it out at this
I've
point.
seen EPs this year that were 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I don't get it because this is me. This is
I bet it's a record label thing.
It must be. It must be something that maybe it's a contract thing.
Contract thing. The EP doesn't count on their contract probably, and they just put out an EP.
Because so this was like a surprise thing. They wrote they while they were stuck at home. This is legitimately probably the biggest, the most hardworking touring band going right now.
Yeah, I saw a show coming up kind of soon, within the next couple of months.
Yeah, they're coming soon. They don't fucking stop, dude. These kids don't stop. Moving. They just are nonstop. So last year, 2020 rather, what I mean by last year, really hurt them because they had a ton of momentum going. They just put out a new album. They were just about to start really touring on it, and then the world shut down. So instead of sitting around with the thumb up their ass doing nothing, they went and rented a fucking old log cabin in the woods and locked themselves in it and wrote and recorded this. And not only, here's what you don't see bands do anymore: production value, right? We were talking about that when I got the new Every Time I Die vinyl, and I was like, oh, it's cool to see a booklet again, you know?
It's are you talking about bringing back what you're saying, old cabin style, Led Zeppelin, fucking?
No, well, that's one thing, which that's cool because I've seen bands do that. What I'm getting at though is they didn't tell anybody they were doing this album. They didn't do a fucking interview. They didn't tell anybody.
It was a surprise album.
It was 100% a surprise. It just dropped. It literally just came out one day. It wasn't like they dropped a single and hinted about it. It literally just.
That's kind of almost. You wish more bands would.
I
do
wish
that.
more bands would do that, and
Because
surprise
then
people.
that
with it.
would give you more of a reason to want to listen to something. Because
Right,
it's
and
like,
but on top of that, not only did they write an EP and drop the entire thing in one day instead of like piecing it out and doing like pre-orders and shit, they just dropped it. The pre-orders went up the same day that they released it, and they also made an entire animated video that goes. This is a concept album.
Yeah.
They made an entire animated video that plays like it's the whole album, go like in one shot. So you can watch it. It's a half hour long. It's on YouTube. It's one of the most visually stunning things I've watched in a very long time. It's like claymation almost, and it's like it's. I mean, there's warnings all over it because it can cause like epilepsy. Like it's fucking flashing and bright. And I watched it a couple times like drunk, just sitting in my living room a couple times, or in my kitchen too. I want to like take a fucking edible and like or mushrooms.
Take a couple
and I
caps.
want to watch this thing because it's about like. The concept album, it's about like a husband and wife, and they go for a ride, and they get into a bad car accident, and one of them dies, but one's stuck in like limbo, and it's this fucking it's mind blowing to watch this thing and how it goes so well with the rest of the album. So I played one of the songs off this album. It's only 6 songs. The album is called "Tear in the Fabric of Life." This song is called "Contorted in the Fail," Faille. So I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's fucking amazing. So. These guys deserve every fucking ounce of the credit that they're getting. They're like unrelinquishing when they attack you with their fucking music. It's very good stuff. But I get why it's like hit or miss with you guys because it's not pleasant music to listen to. It can put you in a really, and especially this album is like it's designed to make you feel uncomfortable. So I just wanted to kind of give them a lot because it's not just the song and the album; it's the fact that they went and made this video and everything else with it too. So cool. Let's go on with the next one. Go ahead, Ray.
Some hillbilly shit, like The Message. Some good old country folk, Unexpected, but I don't mind it. You've been watching too much Yellowstone. LOL.
What do you give it?
I give that a 2.5.
Okay.
I know who this is. I can't remember the fucking guy's name. So far, I have not been able to get into this dude. Not a fan of his voice. Musically, it's good for what it wants to be. The lyrics are clever, but the voice just fucking kills it for me. 1.5.
That's such a bummer. It's Amigo the Devil.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I figured it could have been, but I was like,
That's such a. It blows my mind that you don't like that because he's a
It's
storyteller.
his voice. I just don't like his voice.
Maybe have you ever actually tried sitting down and listening to his albums? You should. You should start with his first one though, because it's just him and a banjo, and I think you'd like that a little bit more, and then I think that would get you into this. This album, it's called Born Against. This song is called 24 Karat Casket. This and another fucking song.
quick question. Who's the guy on Yellowstone playing the guitar? Is that
I don't
Luke
know.
Grimes or whatever? Is he an actual musician? 'Cause
No,
I
Luke
think-
Grimes is the son.
The son. All right. Casey.
Yeah,
the
Casey's
son.
Luke Grimes.
All right. Because isn't the musician on the show like an actual musician?
Yeah,
Or
but
something
he's
like
not anybody that we would
that?
ever
All
know.
right. Yeah.
He does have albums out though. I looked
Yeah.
him up, but
All right.
it's nothing that me and you would know.
Yeah.
The fucking soundtrack on Yellowstone's incredible. Coulter Wall, fucking you
Yeah.
name it, dude.
There's good music on that.
Yeah, that band that you show. Remember what's her face Beth goes to a bar and like she gets the fucking dude beat up or whatever. That's Whiskey Myers playing. I tried looking them up. I couldn't get into their stuff, but on the show it was great. Yeah, I would say Amigo. So he's kind of like silly. This song is a little silly too because of the banjo stuff. The other song I was going to play was a little more serious, and maybe you would have liked that one a little bit better. His lyrics are incredible.
Yeah.
Now, why is the banjo silly?
It's because of like the like almost like the.
I
like
know.
it,
I
but what
take
I'm
that shit as a normal thing.
no, I like that too. What I'm getting at those, he's got more straightforward songs
Yeah.
where it's just an acoustic guitar or whatever, and then he's got shit like this where like his lyrics are like designed to be puns and stuff. There's some songs that are way more serious, but they're still brilliant songs. I love this album. This album,
Is it?
I'm
This is,
kind of sad it
his
didn't.
latest album.
Yeah, well,
How many
Yes,
albums
right?
does he have out?
3 or 4 now,
yeah.
3 now, yeah, 3 full length albums. He put 2 out in like a year, and then this came out this year. Well, 2021. You'd like this a lot, Ray. I think honestly, if you sat down and actually listened to it, you'd find a lot of stuff in it that you'd be.
I listened to a couple of the songs that he gave low ratings on that I didn't really care for either, where it was a little bit too dramatic, I think, on the vocals.
Well, the last time I played him on the show,
very, very depressing, or over depressed. I don't know, like trying to maybe over dramatize certain situations. I think in some of the music.
well, no, there's no such thing as that because That's a really odd statement. But
Well, all right.
I know you.
It's a way what you take it, but
That's just a weird way to
all right,
say
yeah,
it.
it's a weird way of saying it, I guess.
So the last time I played one of his songs was early on in the year. I played Another Man's Grave, which that song is very, very hard to listen to. It's very sad. It's very depressing. It's like, I love the song, but it's like, I've never seen, that's the first time I've ever seen Steve be like emotionally like distraught about a song. Like,
Yeah, I think you played one after that too. We talked about that, so I think you played a little bit more upbeat one sometime after that.
maybe I've only played, as far as I remember, I've only played 2 of his songs this year. I've played his other stuff before though.
Yeah.
So maybe I played something similar to this. I don't know, but I know that this. It depends on what you're into, man. I think this dude's one of the best songwriters going right now. The fact that he's fucking.
Oh, he's a good songwriter, and the music's good. I just can't take his voice.
I think it all depends on when you find too.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's cool about him is like he'll release these albums and then he'll go and record himself in the middle of the woods with just a guitar and a banjo, and he'll do all these songs just himself. Or sometimes when he tours, he'll do some of these songs that have a full band on the album just by himself.
Yeah.
And you might enjoy that more. I don't know. I would say give him a chance because I know you like a lot of that Coulter Wall stuff, and you know you're a Stapleton fan too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a different version of that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I love this album. I love this dude. Go check it out. Again, he's not like he even says in that song, you know, subtlety isn't everyone's cup of tea, but
Yep.
yeah. Again, I knew I was gonna get some fucking abrasive shit today, so I was waiting for it. We should probably go right into more. Let me just set it up, I guess, and then so we're gonna go
So you going that way?
I'm gonna start, then it goes Steve,
Yep.
then you, yeah, and then you'll kick off the ones. So let me just load these up. We're gonna be doing 3 and 2, which this is gonna be interesting as well. So give me a second. We don't have to give me a second just to get it going. Also, I haven't watched this match in a long time.
No, me either.
I just watched this the other night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Interesting. Could have fooled me. What would you give this match, Ray? 1 out of 10.
I would give this. I can't say. I was gonna
There was
say.
a guy with a yes shirt in the crowd. Does that help?
Who's that?
No, there was like an Asian dude with a yes shirt.
Does that help? I love it.
All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
All right.
Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Back out in the middle of the line, and now back down with the feeling, and I can lie. You know I won't be long until the end. Let the spotlight shine on me again. Back out in the middle of your life, just like I'm back out in the middle
compass road, breaking you, bleeding above stars, battles, bloody blue, prison making scars. Mess with it, confess to it, feel
I totally forgot that no like pins happen until the last 10 minutes of this match. It's been a while. I haven't seen this in a minute. So interesting stuff so far tonight. Today, in general.
You said it.
So, what? I went first.
Yeah, we started off with you.
Me? Go ahead, Ray. You can.
All right. I'm probably wrong, but where's my notes here? Let's see.
Also, we're still watching Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels from what's this? 12, right? No, this is 10 or 11.
11,
I think it might have been 11. Yeah, you're right. I guess 12 was
12 was Austin.
yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
13.
The blood match, right?
That was 13.
13. So
All
this
right.
is 12.
For some reason, I'm thinking that this has something to do with Turbo Negro, and I'm wondering if this is Hank Van Hill.
No.
Hill? No?
No,
No, it's not. Wow.
no, not even close.
All right.
No.
Well, it reminded me of that vocally, like almost had like a punk kind of. It was headed in that direction in my mind, at least.
Yeah, I get it. Guitar wise, I guess I kind of get it.
Vocally too, a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe. Not very, very different.
Yeah, I think it was
styles,
maybe just because that's what my brain was thinking.
Yeah.
I liked it either way. I gave that a 2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly
It had some weird parts in it that were kind of questionable for me, but like overall, the song itself kind of had it going for me.
Cool. Yeah, some punky fucking upbeat shit.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right, I like it. It's good. It's feel good music, Ray. We don't all need to be depressed like Amigo the Devil. You know, I hit you with a 1-2 combo right there. Who's getting a biscuit? Okay, go ahead. Steve.
I was left a little cold up until the chorus, which was good. Weird style of drums, but I like them going for something a little different. Appreciate some of the weird nuances with the drums. Not sure how I feel about it because they definitely did some different things, but it was intriguing enough for a re-listen. So for that sake, I'll give it a 2.5.
Cool.
I cannot fucking believe that just happened.
You surprised?
You have no idea how fucking surprised I actually am. Turns out I'm glad I ended up. So I was trying to figure out what song to play from this. This album hit my fucking brain like.
I'm actually curious to find out what it is.
So this album, I played a song from this the night Sam was here, and you guys
Both hated it.
torched it, like fucking torched it.
Give me a second. I gotta whiz.
Yeah, go ahead. It's this album. So this band's been around for a little while. They're called Turnstile.
Yeah.
They're making a lot of fucking waves right now. Whether you're in the hardcore scene, punk scene. They were just on Seth Meyers or something, some late night talk show, and which is crazy for a band like this.
Yeah, when you played them, I had just recently saw them on YouTube or something. Whatever was on YouTube, I liked, and then you played that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then this one I liked too. So it's
I think it's
one of those bands.
It's hit or miss. I think if you something like this, you kind of almost have to turn your brain off and just go, all right, what is this trying to do for me?
That's kind of why I gave it a 2.5 because I was like, I don't know how I feel about what they're trying to do, but it's cool enough that they're trying to do something different.
Right.
That I'll give it a good score.
That's one reason why this caught my ear so well, because I didn't really care for their older stuff until now. Now I get their older stuff a little bit better. They're actually like a bunch of hardcore kids. They have pretty straightforward punk hardcore albums early on. This is a little more like 90s to me. Like this has a lot of like, you can hear like Offspring in this. You can hear like, you know, I've heard people compare them to 311, which I don't quite exactly agree with, but I, you know,
Offspring I could see.
Offspring I see, Rancid, you know, in some weird ways, like the. I wouldn't say even pop punk because it's not poppy. No. Like it's got pop elements to it, but they're not. It's not like listening to Blink-182.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, thank God.
Guitar tone wise, I think it's one of the coolest guitar tones I've heard in a while. Like you can do simple guitar works and make it sound awesome. Still, it has a lot of suicidal tendencies in this album. Turbo Negro, he's not wrong with some of the punk stuff. Hank Von Hell is a different style vocalist in this, but he's not necessarily wrong.
I was questioning it because I was like, maybe it is.
Hank Von Hell's a little more poppy, but it's not far. Some of the stuff isn't far off. It's feel good music. Like you're right with as far as what it's making you feel like. When you listen to the Hank Von Hell stuff, it makes you feel good. This album is a make you feel good album. The album is called Glow On. The song is called Blackout. I decided to play the song last night. I was going to play a different song because I thought no matter what I was going to play from this, you guys were going to fucking torch it. Yeah, so I didn't. I was going to actually play like a little bit softer of a song because there's certain songs I really enjoy on it. But this song's really fun too. If you actually listen to the lyrics, it's essentially about him like. So the lead singer like like dancing at show, like literally dancing at shows. Like he says in the song, like, if you see me in the crowd, just know it's part of the show. Like he's like, I'm here to do a job. I want you to feel good with me. Like this album is like, these kids go fucking ape shit, dude. Like,
I think I saw the name online, but I never actually checked it out.
yeah, it's a lot of 90s influence, like I was just telling Steve. Some Suicidal Tendencies, Offspring, shit like that, you know. You might actually like a lot more of this than what you think.
Yeah.
If you just turn your brain off and listen to it.
I'm worthy to give shit a chance.
Yeah, because you might. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go over, but I like the fucking little different things that they do with the drums. And
Like I said,
the,
there was a couple things where I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I was like, I'll give it a go.
it just puts you in a good place, man. Know what that is, dude? There's nothing. Not one lyric in that album is like negative. Not one lyric is pissed. Not one. It's just a fucking fun, high energy, like ride of an album. It's so much fucking fun, and it's nice to hear that. And like their fans are fucking rabid. Like these kids, the whole time it's just nonstop stage diving, and they did a bunch of fucking free shows where they're from. I think they're from Maryland.
Hopefully they got their rapid test. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they did it in the kind of the middle of the year when all that shit was going on. They had a cool video thing going on too. They did like a block of 4 songs and made one giant long video to it. It's fucking brilliant. I liked it a lot. That's how I caught on to this. So yeah, man.
So you never know. Sometimes, like we said, my number 7 with Eldevar or whatever.
Yeah, you
I
really
was
never
like, I'm probably gonna get my fucking shit fucking thrown out the window right now, but I'm still gonna play it.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
that's the gamble. That's actually the cool part about it. Is sometimes that happens.
yeah, I'm impressed that you guys at least like were open to it because it is different, and I think that's what's cool about it. So,
Yep.
Turnstile, go check it out. The number 2, go ahead, Ray.
Number 2, I might get this wrong again, but I'm guessing this is Chelsea Wolf Converge.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Love it. Just has everything it's going for, like that progressive style between 2 different fucking genres or whatever they're doing there. I give this a big old fat 3.
Dope.
Have you listened to the album?
I've listened to pieces of it. I haven't listened to the whole thing as a whole, though.
Me either. The album, what I have heard is a little bit hit or miss for me.
Yep.
But what I really like, and what I don't is the stuff that's a bit more Converge.
Yeah.
More than Chelsea Wolf. But this one, it's definitely more in line with the stuff that I do like. Spoiler alert, one of the songs off this will be one of my songs of the year. Good atmosphere on this one, and 2.5.
Cool. This is obviously Converge Chelsea Wolf. The album is called Blood Moon. This song is called Crimson Stone. It's a later track on the album. I fucking adore this album.
I think this is one of the songs that
untouchable.
I listened to, and I think I even probably mentioned it to you at one point. I was like, Crimson something or whatever. Is that what
Probably.
you said?
I think Blood Moon is the song that I
Blood Moon
really,
is the-
really like. Off
And
of
I
it.
was like, wow, I like that. But
Blood
I
Moon I
never
played.
actually, like I said, listened to the whole thing. So I'll have to give it a spin.
This Scorpion Sting, I believe, is another really good one. Damon's all right. There's a couple of songs like I love the album. I love the album because it's I didn't expect it. Who the fuck expected to hear Converge and Chelsea Wolf put an album out together? And when it first came out, I thought it was just a song, or I thought it was gonna be like an EP, and then they dropped an entire album, and I couldn't believe it. And Kristen even listened to it a ton the day it came out. I sent it to her, and I was like, "You need to hear this." And she listened to it like 3 times in one day. Like I'm fucking blown away by how good this album is.
I checked out that other. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but you mentioned
When I
something.
mentioned Thou and Emma Ruth Rundle.
Yeah, Ella Ruth Rundle, whatever it is. I checked that out recently. And
I like her
like
other
some
stuff,
of
her old stuff. I need to actually listen to her new album.
The video for the Blood Moon song is really good too. Probably the best video I've seen this year.
I don't know if I've seen it. Maybe I have. The album's fucking awesome, man. I'd like to try to find this on vinyl, but good luck right now. Nothing's fucking.
Yeah, who knows what's even out with the vinyl shortage right
They
now.
did. The only
Fuck
place.
you, Adele.
Yeah, the only place I could find it was through Revolver
I saw there's a
Magazine.
documentary about it. I'm like, whoever's watching that, go fuck yourselves. Don't give that bitch any fucking airtime. Anyway, go on.
Wait, this doesn't go to a fucking draw, does it? No. Doesn't
No.
Michaels pass out or something? That's 5 seconds left.
Where's Bob Backlund when you need
I
him?
think they do a restart.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I forget.
Maybe an extra 15 minutes or something. It's been a long time. I haven't fucking seen this in forever. Go check that out. Obviously, all 3 of us talked about it. I really sunk my teeth into it as soon as it dropped. So it hot shot itself up in my top fucking 5, and then it crept into the number 2 spot. So not an easy album to listen to, but
Yeah.
fucking What's funny is there are songs in this that you can just listen to every day, and then there's songs in this that you're like, ooh, man,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait a while between each song, but that's what I like about it. So, all right, Steve went next, right? Yeah.
You want to go or me?
Let me see. Let me find the songs first.
Sure.
That way I know I'm right in line. See, speak 1, 2. You go ahead.
Good driving, dirty death metal. Slows right the fuck down for some slow, murky guitar. Brings it back into some upbeat black and thrash. Towards the end, I gave this a 2.5.
Very cool. I just have to check one thing off real quick. I apologize, guys, that I'm not fucking forgetting something. Okay, now we're good. Steve has some classic death riffing going on. The Morbid Angel 90s feel that I know me and Ray both really like. I like the break to the slow section. I like the fact that it picks up into a 2-step later on in the song. There's really not a lot of fat in the song. Some good groove to it also. I gave this a 2.6. I enjoyed it.
Cool. This is obviously my number 3, Go Sudar. The name of the album is Morbid Despotic Ritual. This was probably came out, I don't know, maybe halfway through the year, and it's been right at the top the whole time. It hasn't really fallen or gone up, so it's pretty solid. I don't feel this is going to be one of those albums where I'm high on it now, and then by this time next year it falls out. I think it's going to stick there with me. Good stuff.
That's cool. It's good to hear like the client like that. That's pure like 90s death metal right there. All right, well, go ahead, Ray.
Has a good flow, good undertone of almost background vocal effect I liked. Good at slowing it down to add more disgustingness. Feel the lead approaching, but it never does. I gave it a 2.25.
Yeah.
Fucking Ray. Yeah. We're never going to sell him on this album.
Nope.
Is it really?
Is it
What?
Frozen
Is it
Soul?
Frozen Soul?
Yeah. Frozen Soul. Frozen Soul. Arctic Stranglehold is the song.
Yeah.
Song is great. Album is great.
Yeah.
2.8.
Yeah, we've talked about it so much, I'm not even going to say anything about it.
It made my top. This is the only album I think so far that me and Steve have both had. In
The
our
funny
top 10.
thing is like I like everything else they do, but like
Yeah.
I almost feel
Just
like
waiting for the lead.
dick teased, as Ed's always getting dick teased on certain things.
Honey
I feel honey dick. There you go. I feel like it's just like fuck. Where is it? I'm waiting for it, and I'm like, that's how I know it's Frozen Soul though. That's like the
I
factor.
adore the fact that they don't do leads
Yeah.
because everybody else does.
Yeah.
And the fact that like this is a genre bending album in
I
a
get that.
band, that's why it's awesome because it's a crossover. It's a true crossover. Like they don't. It's that murky fucking gross death metal that's coming up right now that Steve is big into. It's got the fucking hardcore punch, like that thrashy hardcore punch that I love. And then it puts the two of them together, and it gets rid of the fucking like. Look, obviously, lead guitars are great. Clearly, these guys are probably capable of fucking shredding on a guitar.
I bet.
Where they're playing. I love the fact that this album is devoid of lead guitar. I love the fact that they cut that out, and it's just raw and fucking emotionless, and it fucking makes you feel frigid, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, and that's what I love about it. But it makes at the same time. Not very many bands can throw in breakdowns like this band does, and then immediately, because like most of the song is making you feel like you can see your breath, and then when the breakdown hits, makes you want to fucking warm yourself up by killing your fucking person next to you. Like it's just not, you don't see that together very often. Not the way these guys did it. I mean, again, the production
Like I said,
value alone.
every other
is
note I
fucking
gave
insane.
about it, I was just impressed, and then it was like, fuck. It's like right.
Yeah,
towards the end,
there's
it's like-
literally not one
Yeah.
lead on the whole album.
Nothing.
It leads me though, like driving up to like the end of it, like here it comes.
Yeah,
Here it
no,
comes,
yeah,
here it
yeah,
comes.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a couple of points where you're gonna think that it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and it never does. It's just funny. It's funny that like that's at this point now we've played how many different songs? We've played pretty much half the album. Me and you have both played fucking almost every song on it.
Yep.
No, it's gotten a pass on me on some other songs. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
It's just hilarious. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so yeah, Frozen Soul. Actually, Vincent from the Acacia put out his top 20 albums today, and this was his like. I mean, he doesn't number them, but this is like the number one thing he listed.
Yeah.
yeah.
A couple other albums too. I wanted you to like. I like when you look at his list for
Yeah,
some
I
reason.
usually end up seeing his list, but I haven't looked in a couple weeks at lists.
He just put it up. I mean, it's there's a couple of songs. I mean, there's a couple albums on there on his list that fucking threw me for a loop. Like
Him and the dude from Black Dahlia Murder always keep up with like the real underground
yeah,
shit.
yeah, Vincent. But yeah, Frozen Soul's the first thing he has listed on here. Then like 6 things later, there's Lil Nas X. I'm like, I don't know how that fucking fits in together at all, but
Right.
God bless you, buddy. Turnstile's on there. 200 Stab Wounds is on here. Gate Creeper's on here. Full of Hell is on here. God's Hate is on here. And then fucking Lil Nas X. All right. Although I saw a lot of people put that dude's album on their fucking top. Yeah, which is weird. I mean, there must be something I'm missing.
I'm surprised Ungfell didn't make your list, and there was a few other ones that I'm trying to think of. Well, we'll get into that after.
A lot of the black metal kind of stuff is honorable mention stuff. Didn't fit in with me for the whole year.
Didn't grab enough. When we're talking about Ray's music, right? So
Yep.
Let me just get down to this. Go ahead, Steve.
Really great rock riff to kick it off. Great vocals. Another really memorable chorus section, which a lot of your stuff has seemed to have today. Really nice hard rock solo that goes on forever. Straightforward, but a great song. I give that a 3.
Cool.
Let's see. I put has a big rock build to it. Nice soaring guitars, makes me want to go run a Rocky montage. Great driving tune, makes me want summertime. Pretty straightforward rocker, but a solid 3. So again,
Sweet.
That was a big song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Glad you guys like that. That is Spider God.
Okay.
Honestly, this whole album fucking rips. I got a 3, I think, out of you guys on another song off this album before, earlier in the year. But definitely go out and listen to this album. 100% a fucking go.
Nice.
Yeah, something I'll have to check out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's good about that list. It'll make you remember, like, oh yeah, let me check out more from these guys.
Yep. Good stuff.
All right, song number 2 sounded like some straight black metal until the vocals kicked in and unexpectedly were, pretty good cleans. Growls were very good too.
You didn't know Mike Tyson ever did anything with WCB?
No, I just think it's great. Fucking.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
All around good musically. Really good solo on this as well. I'll give this 2.7.
Cool. I put has a very big arena feel, some Euro influence, some speedy guitar riffing. Vocals have a good range. I like the heavier vocals actually a little bit more than the cleans, but they balance each other out pretty well. Production is big and polished for a Ray pick, which I couldn't believe it. He had like 2 songs that were actually audibly okay back to back, so something's going on. Maybe that's the only. If that's all I fucking rub off on you, I'm okay with it. Put the screaming fucking solo work in this song really brought this one up at the end. Ray's bringing some fucking heat. You got 2 3s for me.
This is a good driving tune. This whole album, like, awesome album. Ioton. This was my number 1 before the other band.
What is the name?
Ioton, IOTUNN. It's very kind of almost on the progressive kind of,
Yeah.
This whole album fucking blows my mind. So, I don't know. This is another one worth checking out.
I feel like I've heard that name before, just for whatever reason.
This has made the list before as well.
Okay.
Yep. So, I'm glad you guys like that as well.
All right, and then did we do everybody already?
I think that is everybody on to our number 1s at this point.
Yeah, so now we're gonna go into our number 1s. We're gonna play one song, talk about the album since we all listen to each other's number 1s. I'd listened twice. I listened both of your guys.
I listened to each of you guys about 4 times because
I only
over
did
the
twice.
course of the length of time that we've had to split everything up, I listened to it kind of randomly. Like I said, I went for a walk with Ed's album when I was getting my car fixed.
Yep.
I listened to it at work. I listened to it again because I didn't know what we were doing yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I literally listened to both of your albums again this morning.
Yep.
Just so I was fresh on both of your guys' albums. So.
Yeah, I'm not really fresh on them because I did twice. I did once driving, which you're not really taking notes. You're just kind of taking it in, and then another one I sat down with them, but that was before fucking everyone got sick and we didn't do a show for a couple of weeks. So I haven't heard them in a couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting.
I listened to both of them at the gym when we first talked about it a couple weeks ago, and I was holding off to give a good solid listen to with notes until we were like, we knew we were going to do the show.
Yeah.
And again, because like Steve said, it kept on getting pushed back. I just waited. I listened to a couple tracks here and there on my, like in my car also.
Yeah.
But like, so maybe like 2.5 times I've listened to each album. I kind of flipped through them both just to see what they both sounded like between headphones and my car.
Yep.
And then I listened to both of them this morning, back to back. And I took notes on each song, but we don't have to go too in depth because I don't know how
Yeah,
much.
'cause
I don't know how many notes
I
you guys
took
took on my album.
notes
So.
on the album, so we'll see
On
how
the
that
album or
goes.
song by song.
I went song by song on Ed's. I branched it out. More of the songs that I liked the most,
Yep.
where I was listening to it, and
kinda how I did it.
I was listening to it, and I was like, all right, this one is on my radar. So
Yeah.
that's how I went about it with Ed's.
Yeah.
You guys each only had 6
Yeah.
songs on your album, so it was real easy for me to take notes for both
Yeah.
of them, even though they're like,
I took my notes more as like a generalized album thing.
Yeah.
Instead of,
yeah.
song by song.
So what I'll do then is I actually wrote out the song titles for each one and like notes behind them. So Ray's done that in the past. So if
Yeah.
you guys want, when
Yeah.
we're going through them, like I can fucking read off what I thought, and then you fill in whatever you're gonna fill in, and then you fill in whatever you're gonna fill in, or whatever, and then we can give our scores of the whole album. What I would say to do as far as like, song, like we're each about to play a song from our number ones, and then if that gets in, that gets in. I'm not gonna take necessarily different notes, but it will be interesting to see if like with whatever Ray plays right now gets a different score than whatever I put, and if I can remember what song it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and think about where it is and think about the voice. Think about
Yeah.
it all. So
Do you know what song you're gonna play?
off of my number one.
Yeah. So is that how we're gonna do? He's gonna play a song. We're gonna talk about his album. Then I'll play my song. We'll talk about it. Then you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm already set up. Once you said that's what we were gonna do, I just picked a song off of it.
Yeah.
I figured we'd branch it.
So yeah, whenever you're ready, man. If you want to do that now.
You can go for
'Cause
it.
it's gonna go one, then we're gonna talk a while, then one, talk a while.
Yeah.
We should. We're still. It seems like we're doing it right today.
We're at
Time-wise.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
That's,
That's
not
not.
bad.
That's not bad at all, actually. Considering normally these are 3.5 hour adventures.
Yep.
All right. So
Go
whenever
for it.
you guys are ready.
Hit it up.
Go for it, man.
Thank
am William Wallace.
Yeah, there you go.
I shoot lightning bolts out of my arse.
God tells me he can get me out of this mess, but I'm
I'm
pretty,
sure
you're
you're fucked. The movie fucking holds up 100%. I don't care what anybody says.
This is my island. That's the best part of that movie is that guy.
Crazy Irish. Ha
What movie is that?
Braveheart.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah.
I can sit and rewatch that movie all fucking almost 4 hours of it, constantly.
I probably watched that movie like 20 times in my youth. Yeah.
all the time. I used to watch it all the time because
I used to like the war scenes because it was so graphic for that.
they're
time.
amazing.
I've only seen it like pieces on TV.
They still
Oh,
hold
you
up.
can't watch the TV version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, man.
There's some
It
brutal
it's
scenes
fucking
in
violent.
there. Yeah.
It's violent and it's some of the best
I love watching that
graphics
guy's
you'll ever
head
see.
get crushed with the fucking mallet or whatever is in the war scene.
Yeah, and he hits him in the top of the head with the metal and it
Oh,
just
one of the
splatters.
other best scenes is when the guy's in bed during the dream or whatever,
Yep.
and he shows up with the horse and
With
the
the
bed
fucking
just
mace.
smashes his face with the mace.
It's
Yeah.
fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Or like they when they're running through each other,
Oh,
or
and
whatever,
chops
they
that
chop
dude's
the
horse.
fucking dude's legs
Yeah.
off. Yeah, that too.
Oh, yeah.
The Patriot's good too. A lot of people don't realize that.
Actually, I
movie's-
watched
it's as good.
when we were soldiers or whatever with Mel Gibson the other day. Anything Mel Gibson has been in is pretty much a brutal movie.
Yeah, for the most part.
You ever seen Apocalypto? Fucking great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in it. He directed it, but
Yeah.
still.
Anything he's directed or been a part of is normally
I
pretty
like
brutal.
a lot of the stuff that he did after he got banned from Hollywood too. A lot of it's pretty good.
That
Oh, yeah.
Bloodfathers movie.
Yeah,
Have you ever
that's a
seen it?
good movie.
I
Fucking
watched
great
what
movie.
with the one with him on the hotel ship, whatever. With did you see that
I
one?
don't know if I saw that one.
It's like during like a fucking hurricane or some shit, but they're being attacked during like a hurricane on like a ship. I don't know. It's pretty good. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But yeah, no, he's been in a bunch of good shit.
Yeah, definitely give Braveheart a watch, man. Goddamn, that's one of them. We can maybe talk about that when we start doing a regular show again. We'll have to have Steve's opinion on that. We'll have to do a list of what are the best movies we've all one of us
Eat a
has never
bunch
seen.
of edibles and watch Braveheart. There you go.
Just fucking go to town, bro. Look at that unfortunate Dave Mustaine looking lady with the attitude shirt on. She fucking. Anybody else catch on to that?
I did.
All right, not just me, right?
As soon as you said that, I was like, "Oh, the hand."
There it is. Yeah, there she is. Hello, me. Me.
Sweating bullets.
It's so weird to look at this now with like the bicycle, fucking the bicycle rack style fucking guards and shit now. Like, it's so weird. Even the mats to watch it. Like I watched their production last night to see the production value, how much has changed.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
it hasn't changed for the better, in my opinion.
No, I'll be honest. Same reason why a lot of HD stuff I don't like it. It just looks too real, and you can see all the fake shit. Like you can see when they're fucking talking to each other now. Like here, you can see it if you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Like if you
I
understand
just
wrestling.
mean all the fucking like. There's a million cuts now when they.
Yeah.
Fucking, I hate that shit.
Although the editing on when Michaels was coming out between that and the video was driving me nuts. It was
Yeah.
making me fucking
Yep.
like flashing. Was that should I say I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have you give your review on that. So we do a review on that song,
Yeah.
and then I think I know what song it was. So maybe Steve does
Yeah,
a
I have
review
no
on that.
idea what song it was.
All right, go ahead, Steve. What your review on that song was, and then we'll talk about the
Yeah,
album.
yeah. Really pretty intro, kind of uplifting vibe on the main riff. I really like when they slow it down a bit until they slow it down too much and do a really pretty mid-song acoustic piece, which is a theme throughout the whole album.
It is.
Gets heavy again, and these guys know how to do pretty really well, even when heavy. I'll add a caveat later, but this gets a 2.5.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm pretty sure this is Home.
No.
Shit. Then if it's not Home, then it must be. This wasn't As Above, So Below, was it? This was okay. So that's weird. So all right. What's funny is, I didn't reckon it. This sounded a little bit different coming out of these headphones than it did the way I listened to it earlier. So if that's the case, starts off with a long intro, eventually kicks into more of the arena black metal. Actually, that doesn't make sense. They bring back that opening rhythm section in the middle section. That is the highlight of the song for me. I gave this song a 2.75. This is my favorite track in the album.
Me too.
And now that I'm listening, now that I read my notes, that does make more sense now. Yeah, so this was the title track in the album, As Below, So Above.
As Above, So Below.
Yeah, but As Above, So Below, sorry.
Yep.
I'm starting to read like Ray. This is track 5 on the album, I can give you that. And then, do you have any, should we go through the album notes? Because I have the track by track, and I can kind of go
Well,
through
did you
and
take any notes, or you just gonna kind of?
No, I did, but like I said, it's more of like an overview of the
So,
album.
all right.
Do you want me to do like my track by track and then you fill in
Yeah.
in between there? All right. So the album's 6 songs long.
Yeah.
You want to name? You want to say the album and the name of the album?
Yep. So this is Wilderness or Wilderness.
Wilderness,
however you wanna-
yeah, with 2 V's.
This is a one-man project from Hungary, and I like the fucking. It's kind of almost like you'd say, kind of like a concept album because you have that theme running throughout the whole album, like that kind of pretty kind of mid-note throughout the whole thing. This album just kind of blew me away because it was almost reminded me of like some old Opeth, but like had some different parts in it that kind of really stood out for me.
Yep.
It was just something that I could listen from track 1 to track, the end and just listen to it and be like, all right. And it didn't even feel like it was 35 minutes. It felt like it was fucking 10 minutes for me. 90% of the time I was listening to it, that's how it made my number 1. So I'm glad you guys liked it. So that's cool.
Yeah. So we'll go through the album. Let's see. As Above, So Below. The first song is Our Souls Bear the Weight of the Stars. I put opening instrumental. I enjoy the mood this is setting up, but I typically don't give a score or take too many notes on
It's
instrumentals.
pretty long too, isn't it? Like 4 or 5 minutes or something.
3.5, 4 minutes or something, somewhere around there. Yeah, 4 minutes. Yeah,
Yep.
It felt pretty long,
It's
but
a lot
it
of
sets
musical
up.
stuff on the album.
Yeah, so this song is an instrumental. So instrumentals, I don't typically take notes on, or not notes. I don't give a score to because it's just not what I do. So
Before you go into the next track, my problem with it was you have this 4-minute fucking intro.
Yeah.
That's really slow and pretty. It's great musically, and then the next song starts with a fucking intro that's also pretty and slow and
no, you're actually wrong. The rest of the album does that.
yeah.
This one
Second
does
This
track
one doesn't.
starts maybe
Okay.
for like maybe a minute. Or
not. No, the
30
second track
seconds.
kicks right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kicks right in. Like but the rest
The rest of the album. Is
But
like
no,
that.
so that's exactly my issue with the album
my
too.
issue, big issue.
So
Yeah.
realistically, the rest of this album feels like the first 2 songs put together.
yeah.
So you're right as far as that goes, but you're just remembering these 2 a little bit different. This song kicks right in and is like that big arena feel, but it goes from that beautiful, pretty fucking acoustic work to like the high pitched, like blaring sound that this has, which we'll get into in a minute. But you're correct as far as most of the songs are like that, though.
Yeah.
But the first song is like a 4-minute long interlude that kicks right into the second song, and that's what I think is thrown.
Yeah.
The rest of it.
Yeah.
And then the second song is Gray and Cold. I put kicks in fast and heavy, but has a
That's
big
a
arena
good
feel.
tune to me on that.
That was a cool tune. I like the folk style it has in the background too. Biggest issue so far, it's very treble heavy. Like it feels like there's no mid and almost no low in the end of this mix. But the acoustic part hits hits and sounds great. The song is A Wild Journey. So here's what I caught on early on. Now that I know this is a one-man band, that actually makes a little bit more sense on why the mix is so bad. So anything that has to do with the acoustic or slowed down stuff sounds like it was recorded in an entirely different studio.
Yep.
Anything that's heavy is like super bright and super treble, and there's no mix between the vocals, the drums, the bass. It's just coming at you at fucking 1,000 RPMs, and I get what they were trying to do. I don't not like it, but it's very hard to listen to sometimes depending on like the way you're listening to it. That song, just through these headphones, these are bass heavy, and it was passable. I didn't need to turn my volume down. I had to turn my other headphones down.
Yeah.
Which I don't do ever.
Yep.
It was like screeching in my ears. Where Steve's album, spoiler on that one, I listened to it full blast and it couldn't get loud enough for me. Like, and I don't do the normalizing thing. Whatever the album sounds like is how the album comes through my headphones. So I get what they were doing, and the fact that now that I know that this is a one-man band, I didn't do any research on this because I wanted you to tell me. It gets a little bit more of a pass on the mix. I did not like the mix in this album at all, and it really bummed me out because I liked a lot of the guitar
I
work.
could see that. I could see that.
I got what they were doing. It's, now that, and when you said Opeth, I went, that does make sense to me too. It's very like whimsical in the good way, Viking feeling music, you know.
Yep.
But yeah. So, anyways, that's Gray and Cold. And then I give that song a 2.5. Most of this album's gonna be a similar score because a lot of it felt the same to me. But again, it's a one-man band, so that gives some credit. Do you have any notes specifically on that song or anything?
Not specifically on that song. But before you get to the rest, I will say that my main thing with the album is I like a lot of it musically. It's just they played out the fucking soft intro thing. Like
I
just
get that.
Way too
I
much.
get that.
They would start it at the beginning of the song and then do 2 minutes of regular shit and then do another one.
Yeah.
And then one of them, they did it at the end of the song for a couple of minutes, and they started the next song with another one. It's like,
Yeah,
come
it's
on.
in the middle that you're thinking of. I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're thinking of. Well, I think what you're thinking of too is from Home, which is the third track, 4, and then 5.
It's almost integrated into 90% of the album. Is that the acoustic?
it
mix
kind
that
of
they're
wore on
bringing
me
in.
as an album. I think this is almost better listening to a song rather than as an album because
agree.
it's so. They did that so many times.
Yeah.
Well, and so from there, it goes to the third song, Home, which is more. It goes from that last song right into more beautiful acoustic work to start this song off. When it kicks in big, it's big and powerful again. But again, the mix is rough for me, and by this point, I'm having a really hard time because this is when I had to turn it down like a notch or two because it just sounded like the way I wrote it is it makes it sound like one big swirling wind storm coming at you. Song has a good few pace changes in it. And again, the band's high point is the integration of the acoustic sections. This song had another couple sections where it was acoustic, and I think it even fades out. And then what you're talking about is it goes from this into another instrumental.
Yeah.
So it goes from like a 7-minute long song or whatever this is called Home into a 3-minute long instrumental into another song that has an instrumental part that kicks it off.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, so out of 6 songs, 2 of them are instrumentals, and then the rest of the album has 4-minute long instrumentals. So it's just like, it's a lot of music.
And it all
which I know
sounds
that's your
really
thing.
good when they do it.
The instrumental stuff is
just-
the best part of this album.
Yeah.
It's just they need to like.
To tell you the
scale it
truth,
back a
I was
little
thinking
bit.
like when you said I'm going to listen to this Down by the Water, I was like, this is going to be like a Down by the Water.
I
album.
never had a chance to just sit and do that, but
Yeah.
I agree that like
Yeah.
I
If
listened to
this
it
was
driving
something
around.
to sit and look at the waves or
Yeah, I
something
can see
like
that.
this is definitely an
Yeah.
album to be down by.
This
the
would be
water.
good on like a foggy day watching
Yeah.
the water. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, so again, it's not bad. Like this song, for instance, Home, I gave another 2.5. It's a passable song. To be honest with you, like it all got a little bit of a bump grade for me because I could see what they were trying to do, and the acoustic stuff sounded perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfectly fucking recorded, and it was beautiful when it was done, and that was all the highlight for me every time. Like because
I think it hit home for me as number one because it had the integrations of like all the heavy stuff that I like mixed in with the acoustic stuff, which also bringing in it being a one-man band brought into I don't know, I like another band called Falkenbach, which is a folk band that is a one-man project, and the one-man project thing, it just makes me be like, wow, this guy's doing it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
It's
I
very
give him
impressive.
kudos.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
I'm glad that I gave everything a little bit of a score
yeah.
bump because
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know that, and that's essentially what would have pushed it even further.
yeah.
It's just like sonically for my ears, it's hard for me because again, when it does the acoustic stuff, it's recorded perfectly.
That's a lot of black metal when like it's either like that when they do the production or it's like the song I played earlier.
Yeah, where it's really
where it's
low.
really low.
Yeah.
It's either really low or really trebly like this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware. A lot of times there's no
there's
low end in this album at all. Like there's none. Like you can't hear the kick drums. You can't hear the
Yeah,
bass.
I
you
even
can't hear.
now that you mention that, I even have to turn it down in my car because my left speaker kind of
Probably
gets
pops
that,
or something?
pops
Yeah.
a little.
Yeah.
Not like too bad, but like I have to be like, all right, I have to turn this down. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next song is called I don't know how to pronounce the O with the 2 squiggly things, but
Yeah.
it's Erdo. I'm not sure. ERDO with the 2 little squiggly things. I put
Umlaut.
more. Yeah, that's umlaut. What the fuck it is. I put more impressive instrumental work that helps tell us. This definitely helps tell a story. But so far, 2 out of 6 songs have been instrumentals. Not a lot of substance for me to rate or enjoy beyond listening for the show. So again, like I don't not enjoy it. I just
I get it.
There's just not a lot of. I mean, it's 35 minutes long, and 2 of the fucking 6 songs are instrumentals. And on top of that, a lot of the songs have instrumental leads.
Yeah,
in.
I'm pretty sure if you were to play all these songs on the show, I'd like them more solo
As an
than as a
individual.
collective.
Yeah.
I'd probably give each song a
I
higher
actually
grade than I would the
between
album.
the album for me, my picks would be As Above, So Below, whatever.
That
and
was my
probably
favorite, too.
That was the best song,
The
yeah.
last track is probably my second favorite
Yeah.
on the album.
So then it went into As Above, So Below. Starts off with a long intro from a musical, and that's what you were talking about. It was those 2. Eventually kicks in with the more we already talked about. I did these notes, so we have that, and then this is my favorite track, 2.75. And then All Fires Die Out, which is the last song. I put samey, more acoustic work for an intro. At least this song is a change from the rest. This one had clean vocals in it, which were actually a nice break of a change. I'm glad that at least showed a little bit more diversity. 2.5 for this song as well. Overall solid album for what it offered. Very impressive musically. It does lose a bit due to only being 6 songs and having 2 being instrumentals. 2.5 as an album, and honestly that is a bumped up grade because of the fact that you told me that, you know, it's a one-man band. It gets, you definitely do get some credit from me for that, because it's, especially playing music like this, it's not like you're listening to a dude play like a garage band song or something, you know. But yeah, as an album, I mean, it's not something I'd go out of my way to listen to, but that's kind of the whole point of what we do here, right?
That's what makes everybody's individual picks their own.
Yeah, I'd probably give the album a 2 because of all the stuff we said, but listen, if I were to listen to each one just as a song, like on a different day, I'd probably give it,
to tell you
all
the
a
truth,
higher rating
I
than that,
haven't
too.
even delved into the earlier, I guess there's 3 albums before this. I haven't even touched them.
Yeah.
I've just listened to this album. So I want to go back and give those a spin and see where they stand. But
So you just found out about this year?
I found about this year. Yep.
I have seen them pop up on one other list so far this year.
Yep.
All right. So we just watched Mike Tyson do the fast count for Steve Austin.
Fucking Mike Tyson before his face tat.
Oh, yeah, this is before that.
Yep.
It's funny to realize that, like, because Michaels is not a very big
He
guy.
should have taken some fucking penis envy.
Well, you
before
realize
this.
he's actually a normal sized guy. In wrestling, he just looks small.
All right, bud?
Everybody? Yeah, and then when you realize that the fucking, literally the baddest man to ever walk the planet is only 5'10".
Yeah.
It makes you like realize how much badder of a man that fucking Mike Tyson is. You know what's weird when you watch these old you know matches back now too? Like, this was the era of the Giants, and I always like when you look at Steve Austin in a movie.
Yeah. He looks huge.
He looks like the fucking biggest man on ever.
But when you see him
What
on
were those
wrestling,
movies?
he's not that big,
no.
With the island, the Condemned.
That was great.
The Condemned.
I like the Condemned.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Didn't they make a couple of them?
Oh, I'm sure.
I think
but
they
only
did,
had
but
one with him.
without Austin. Like the Miz or fucking something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Fucking Randy Orton probably was in 15 of them.
Probably.
All right, so we'll go on to my number 1. I'm going to play a track from it. We'll come back and do a breakdown. However, you guys are going to end up handling a breakdown, and then we'll go from there. So let me just cue it up, and I'm going to turn that down just a hair because make sure that this isn't going to rattle or anything. Bear with me just a second, fellas. I'm almost there. You ready?
Ready.
With enough passion and we become perfect cycles burning brighter than the sun. There's no darkness dragging us down, no black clouds blocking the sun. When sophisticated born is blown out your life, so you will never get it back. Your fight is now. Well behaved, hold the grain. So we need to find something we already have. Us. Gravity will pull us into gods. Gravity will pull us into gods.
forgot about that. Where the fucking cannons didn't fire for like half of them. He's got these like confetti cannons.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he sits there like, what the fuck?
Yeah. All right, so now it's on to Jericho versus Michaels. This is what, fucking 20-something? 2020?
Yeah, this is probably like not too long after he came back.
This is definitely after his comeback. He's got the short, weird hair.
Yeah.
So this must have been 04, maybe 05, somewhere around there.
Yeah, probably.
I remember this match being really good, though.
Yeah, the whole feud was good.
What's X1X? It's
19?
damn, was it only 19? No.
21? I don't know.
Actually, yeah, you might be right. Maybe it is 21. No. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It doesn't fucking matter. All right. So, I've talked about this album a bunch already. Most people know my love for this band. I don't need to go into obscene detail about who they are. It's Every Time I Die. The album is called Radical. I don't know if you guys know. I don't know how you guys took your notes. This album is 16 songs long. It's about 52 minutes long, 51 minutes long, which is odd. I had the longest album of the year for the three.
It will happen.
That doesn't normally happen. But the funny part is I have 10 more songs than either one of your albums, and somehow only 10 more minutes. You know, if not even. Steve had 44 minutes, so I had 6 more minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, this album's a grab bag. I waited for this album for 2 years almost. This was written and recorded. The final production was done in, I believe, February or March 2020. So literally right before everything shut down.
Yeah.
This was finalized. This album sat on the shelf almost 2 years. And now I have it on vinyl and everything else. So I'm interested to see what you guys think about the album. This album, I fucking love it. Not just because I'm a mark for these guys. If they didn't put out a good album, I would be honest about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you take the rope, Steve.
How do you want to do it? Do you want to notes
I don't
on
know
that
if
song
you did
first?
take any notes. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
do
give-
like mine.
like we did?
with
Give
mine.
notes.
Yeah.
You didn't take note for
I have
song
note.
for song
I
either,
have
right?
like almost note for note for songs, like I said, but I only kind of really encompassed on what I liked.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good riff to kick it off. Production is on point. Chorus throws me off a bit. Sometimes I find this dude whiny, and sometimes I don't. Good all. I mean, pretty straightforward. Good all around. I'll give this 2.3.
All right.
I'm interested to know what song it is because I did the same thing. I have
Yeah.
the
So
songs
I'm
I
kind of
liked
almost
and
on the same
songs that
planes
were
with you.
whatever.
So I'm thinking this didn't fall in one of the songs that I really dug on
I'm
the
thinking
album.
it didn't either.
So
I'm not sure.
I don't know. For listening to that right now, I'm going to give you my honest notes and say that I think I liked what they're doing, but I progressively, how do I word it? I liked what they're doing, but at the same time, I felt like that was probably one of their more lackluster songs on the album.
See, that's hilarious to me. This is one of my favorite songs they've
For
ever
you.
written.
Yeah. For me, this is like one of the underscores on it. I'll give it a 2.25. But if you want me, do you want me to start with like my full notes on it?
On the album, I mean, yeah. I don't know how you. Do you want me to? I can list them track by track.
No,
and see
I
what you guys
I just want to
load up
give you
with.
what I gave you, like from how I read it, so like you could see. So I put opens up heavy. Opening track gives a slap in the face, almost political shit. At least that's what I got reading the lyrics. Second track was A-okay for me. Third track, I like the breakdowns, some nice bends. 4 coming into this track, not too much with the previous album. What did I put? Wait. Not in touch with the previous album, excuse me. Chaotic, progressive, but like the mellower chorus midway through. Colossal Wreck, so far, I'm digging this track the most. The hooks on it are pretty impressive, so this one's really got my attention. Desperate Times had me and lost me.
Desperate Pleasures.
Desperate Pleasures
Yep.
kind of had me. It was kind of like hit or miss. All This and War, like the light backing and vocals. Yep. Kind of straightforward. Every Time I Die. The ballad on this album I was digging the most right now.
Thing with Feathers is one of my favorite songs they've ever
Made
written.
me feel surprised. It reminded me of Radiohead. Intro, at least. That's what I put.
Yeah.
It impressed me. Hostile Architecture.
Yeah.
Short, heavy outro. Didn't really draw my attention too much. AOL. Kind of basic.
AWOL.
Not AWOL.
Yeah.
Not hitting, but doesn't
AOL.
do much for me. The whip reminds me of Superjoint. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
A
get
little.
that. Some southern bends in there. Yeah.
Second half surprised me. Wasn't expecting the change towards the end. Chunky riffs on this. White Void starts off like Deftones vocally, like the stoner rock. Mellower side of these guys, opposed to the upbeat, is where I'm kind of feeling it. But they still managed to pull this off, like the heavier stuff towards the end of that track, which wasn't bad. So
I played that a couple months ago. That got into the list.
Might be my favorite track on this right now. Probably the best track I put. Distress Rehearsal. Heavy. Didn't find any standouts. Sex XX. Lots of switches. Almost a prog element with the guitar. Heavy breakdown. This is also a good track for me. Stood out to me. People Versus had a nice atmosphere. Seemed more matured musically than vocally than the earlier stuff that I heard. But what do I know? LOL I put.
That's the song we just listened to.
All right. So that song, I guess, right there, when I listened to it earlier, I was like, all right. So this was kind
What
of
was the name of the one we listened
People
to?
Versus.
People Versus.
Yeah,
So
I think if you listen to it on the album, it stands out a lot.
So I was listening to that, and it almost stood out to me because I was like, Every Time I Die to me normally sounds similar, almost basic on the same tracks, but I feel like towards the end of the album, they kind of got more progressive and they kind of pushed it forward. We Go Together, heavy outro, like the synth, added a new effect. Again, I say they surprised me with some of this album. I felt basic Every Time I Die. Some actually caught me, so I gave that a 2.25. All right, now we're going into the end of the album, so this is going into your other stuff. But yeah, all in all, I gave the album a 2.5 because honestly, this was different than some of the earlier Every Time
Yeah,
I Die stuff that I know.
Yeah, it's a lot more. It's a lot
So
more mature.
I feel like they've definitely they've stepped it up a level.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the ballad on the album and some other stuff, I wasn't expecting that. So
Yeah.
I'll give them a 2.5 because
I was dying. There's a couple songs I've been dying to hear where you talk about. I was dying to hear you talk about "Thing with Feathers," which is the ballad song,
Yeah.
which sounds like Radiohead. I think it's one of the most impressive things they've ever written.
yeah.
I knew you liked White Void already because I played that a couple months ago and you guys both liked it and were surprised that it was Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
People Versus and We Go Together. I was waiting for you to talk about too because those two were both pretty proggy and a little bit different than what they're.
So I gave it the same score though. I think 2.25. I gave the same score as what People Versus. So I didn't even realize it, but I gave the same score.
Yeah.
But like I said, from what I've heard from them before, this was definitely them maturing as a band.
Yeah. I figured you'd like that We Go Together song too. That's the one with that weird fucking intro.
That was the outro,
The
right?
outro shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that song is wild.
Yeah, that was the longest song they've ever probably made.
Second longest
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
It's one of the longest songs. That's over 5 minutes long, which they
Yeah.
don't do that. As far as I know, they only have one other song that's 5 minutes long.
Yep.
That I can think off the top of my head, and that's on the last album, which is Low Teens. I don't know what you have to fill in there.
Yeah, like how many tracks are on this album?
16.
16. So for me, it was kind of like a tale of two albums. I'll go over the ones I like are We Go Together, White Void, Desperate Pleasures, Planet Shit, Dark Distance, and The Ballad, which I didn't write down, but
Which
I
is
did like
the,
that.
That's
song.
that's the thing with Feathers.
Yeah.
I felt those songs were a little more like not rock and roll, but a little more rock oriented.
Yeah.
Where a lot of the other stuff is a little more almost punk oriented.
Yeah.
And those songs I didn't like as much, but I still didn't not like them. It's just all the ones I listed, I would probably
Like
rate
you mentioned
over a
earlier,
2.5.
like with the vocals, there's points where I like them and there's points where I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing for the album with me. Really, is
Yeah.
the vocals. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I really
there's some
like
points
this,
where
and
I'm like,
sometimes eh.
digging it, and
Yeah.
then there's some points where I'm like,
Yeah, for me, I think a lot of it's when they try to do the more punky
fast-
kind of stuff,
yeah, yeah.
the fast stuff. When they're doing like rock and roll stuff, I probably liked close to half the album, and the stuff that I really liked 2.5. But the stuff I didn't like wouldn't be low; they'd probably be like low 2s.
yeah.
So I mean, I didn't.
So no stinkers on the album.
No
really.
stinkers,
Yeah.
no stinkers. But
Yeah.
I felt the rock and roll stuff was definitely.
I thought
more
that's
up my
where they
alley.
drove their nail in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's what's been separating them for like 20 years is the
Yeah.
fact that they've incorporated more and more southern rock feel to them as time has gone on.
yeah.
And the fact that they can do both is really where their standout shining.
There was
You know,
one song
the shining
we played
standout is.
over the summer. That was, I think we mentioned it being really southern rock, but I didn't
Probably
really hear a
White
lot
Vo-
of southern
White
rock
Void.
on
White
this.
Void.
Yeah.
White Void.
I played that a couple months ago.
I like that a lot, to tell you the truth. That was probably,
That's
if not,
my favorite song on the album.
if not that,
It's a lot of people's favorite song.
the
on there.
ballad. Between that and the ballad was a hard place.
Those are the two. Those are the two that fucking blew everybody's minds on this album. Like when you hear when people talk about this album, Those are the two that people are like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And I almost played, when I played a song from it a couple months ago, I think it was the show that Ben was on that we just put up. I could be wrong though. I was gonna play Thing with Feathers, and then fucking I ended up playing White Void. I saw them play White Void at that. They had that song written when I saw them in 2019 at that show up in Buffalo. So I have footage of them doing that song, and you can go and find it now, and it's wild to listen to now because it's so like a big part of them for me is the singer, and a big part of him is his lyrics. So his lyrics are very, very, very poignant.
I did read some of the lyrics because they were on Spotify. I didn't read all of them, but they are good lyrics. Yeah.
It depends on what you're into. You know what I mean? So like for instance, right now, I mean,
I thought some of it was politically driven.
Yeah. What's funny is you got again. I read big
But
reason
you
why
could take that into your own
on either side.
interpretation.
Yeah. But I want to. That's why before I knew you guys were going to pick up the political thing because it's obvious.
Yeah.
But they were ambiguous.
Yeah, they're not normally a political band at all.
Yeah.
And what's funny about it is again, remember this album was written 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And only came out 2 months ago. So all this shit,
you
like
can see the writing on the wall with shit going.
if you read the lyrics to Planet Shit, you'd think that he wrote it after the fucking January 6th last year. It sounds like he's talking about a fucking like a riot in the Capitol, and the song was written a year before that.
Yeah.
So like it's whatever he was on when they were writing his album, and then songs like The Whip is obviously a fucking amazing song. We Go Together I like a lot.
Like I said, the last 4 to 5 tracks of the album kind of like
it's definitely two like. When you listen to it on vinyl, even you can see that it's like a 2-sided album.
Yeah.
Most of the song they let out 5 tracks before the album came out.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. It almost sounds like 2 different albums.
Yeah. It feels like that even when you're listening to it.
Yeah.
Like right now, realistically, the song that hits me the hardest is probably Hostile Architecture, which I figured was going to be an iffy song for you guys. It's one of the more straightforward. It's about a little over 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
But the lyrics are like will fucking punch you
for
in the
the
face.
shortest song on here that really grabbed me by the balls was fucking like I said, the Colossal Wreck.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Colossal Wreck, fucking, I was like, wow, that's tight.
They have a couple real fucking heavy songs in it, like Dark Distance. When that kicks in, that shit comes right out the fucking gates and punches you in the face. And I love the fact that they can do that. I love the fact that how many bands right now can go as deep and heavy as a song like Dark Distance, which comes right out, and that's a song where he comes right away and screams, spare only the ones I love, slay the rest, and then it kicks in.
So one where he's like, I'm sorry.
That's Hostile Architecture.
Yeah,
that song is one of my favorite songs on the album. But as far as heavy goes, but I love that part. If you listen to those lyrics, he's talking about him and his now ex-wife were having a problem. If you read the lyrics,
like I said, I've listened to the album
incredible.
Like 4 times now, so like
I'm surprised you've listened to it that many times because it's not. But I'm glad that you have because maybe it'll give you a little bit more of a.
Well, I
substance
wanted to come into this knowing it. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it. So I'm glad you both at least enjoyed the album. There was no stinkers, nothing below a 2. And what's funny, the only one I was waiting to hear Steve talk about and to see if he had a different opinion on it was the one that he torched over the summer. The first song I played off this was in like August or something, post-boredom, and fucking you lit it the fuck up, and I'm like, man, I wasn't surprised by it, but I'm like, I hope that when this album comes out, there's a couple songs that get him, and he goes, all right, I might even actually like put these in my list, but I wasn't sure if you even know what song that is.
No, a lot of the stuff like I said, I didn't take track for track notes anyway. For yours, because a lot of them are short, and for Ray, because a lot of it felt samey. So I was like, let me just wrap up the album.
No, that's fine.
In like a big package.
Post-boredom is the song where he says the My Annihilation song. My Annihilation.
Oh yeah.
That
they did that
was
effect a couple times on the album. And
yeah,
I was like,
the one, what was it, the second or third track in where it's the miracle or something.
Oh,
that was kind of a iffy track for me too.
Might have been Desperate Pleasures.
Yeah.
No, Sly. I think it's Sly. Sly's a weird song. I like it, but it's about this dude from Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's a weird song. Yeah, there's again, it's dude, they're a fucking it is Sly.
Yeah.
There's a mix. It's a mixed bag of an album. It's a mixed bag of a band. That's what they do when you see them. I'm hoping.
There's earlier stuff I like by them, so it's not like I hate them.
Yeah.
It's just like when they catch me off guard at certain points when I'm listening.
What'd you give the album?
You know, I have to listen to.
You said
it.
a 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5.
I mean, I'd probably give it the songs I like would rate over a 2.5, and the songs that I didn't like would probably still rate like a 2. So somewhere in between, like a.
It wasn't a
2.25,
bad.
2,
It wasn't bad.
No,
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Definitely not. Your
I was going
thing,
into
for
it.
sure.
No.
I was going into it. I'll be honest with you. I was going into it more like I'm not gonna like this.
Oh, I thought,
You know.
yeah, I thought for sure you were gonna go into it
but
kicking and screaming.
I was going into it kind of like,
No,
but
man,
then,
look,
like I said, I
they can
listened to it,
fucking,
I'll
they
be-
can
I'll
riff
be-
out. There's a lot of southern riffing in there. There's a lot of heavy shit in there that people don't realize that they can do. They you know, and like the back half of the album where it really starts getting like kind of trippy, like that "We Go Together" song, where it's got like that weird phaser shit in between.
yeah, that's
and
what I liked on that track. It was like I didn't expect every time I die to use that effect
nobody
or
did.
something to do that. So I
That
was
was
like, all right,
that's a one-off
right on,
song
man.
for them. Yeah, so
quick
I'm
grab
glad
my
everybody at
last
least dug it. Then we have to do Steve's, right? So
Yep.
Steve's gonna queue up. Do you have the? Oh yeah, it's right here. Yeah, so it's good stuff. I would be interested. Did you end up ordering? Did you order that your album on vinyl, the one that you're number one?
Oh yeah, it's not till like February or something.
Still, that's not bad. Whatever you get that, if he ends up picking up his, we'll talk about that. I would like to do like a vinyl spin of, like maybe we can do it out on the deck here. And
Yep.
spin them all and fucking see how they sound different there. Because like this one, the one thing is because it's weird what albums sound sped up on that record player.
Oh yeah.
Some sound sped up and some don't.
Yep.
And this one sounds like a half a notch faster than what's on here, but still cool.
Yeah, it's only half. When we tested it, it's only like a little faster.
Yeah, real short. It depends. I think it all depends on the album. Like, and I listen to stuff that's more
It shouldn't.
rock and roll.
It should. I mean, the speed should be the speed, but I don't know.
For whatever reason, some things like if you listen to like if I listen to like He Is Legend, for instance, doesn't matter what album. I have a couple of theirs on vinyl. It sounds virtually identical to what you'd hear on streaming.
Yeah.
If you listen to fucking like this album, sounds like a half a note faster. But it might just be the way it presses too, though. Like, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be that fast. I don't know.
No, I mean, if that thing's fast, then then it's a little fast. I just don't know why everything doesn't sound fast.
I think it comes down to production. So
Maybe, yeah.
meaning like this band, even though they're heavy, they are a little bit higher pitched than like a southern rock band would be.
Yeah, maybe, and that tends to sound faster when it's
Right.
at the higher pitch.
Yeah, because if it's already a higher pitched singer, he's gonna sound just more high pitched. You
Yeah.
know, and if it's a guy who sings normal tone or normal tuning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, very different albums. That's for sure. For
Oh,
number
yeah.
ones, like fucking.
Extremely.
But I like it. I like the fact that it's. And know what else is funny too is when you break them. I mean, spoiler alert to Steve's. Like, no joke. Personally, I was thinking about this. Each album, because I listened to both of yours today, and I know mine super well. If you actually listen to us talk, or if
They
you
fit
listen
on
to
personality.
holy shit, fucking holy shit, my shit's fucking as ADD as it can possibly get. Like a fucking windstorm coming, you know, like a hurricane coming at you. And fucking,
I had the same thought a couple weeks ago.
like
They
it's
all fit our personality.
to a T. It's funny that the number ones do that though, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like two, like big time too.
All right,
All
ready
right,
to
guys.
go?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't have to take notes for yours. I'm just gonna see if I can figure out what song.
give Ray some leads.
Yeah. Give him. Gotta make him feel a little bit better about himself.
Son of a bitch.
Come on, watch out. Come back. Just get back up here. Come on. There you go. Just let me sit up. Fucking Spenny's trying to jump in the party.
You fucking hand rapist.
He is raping some hands. I know what song that was, so should I say what it is?
I have a good feeling of what I know it is.
Subaqueous Funeral?
Sabaqueous?
Funeral? Something like that?
Sebaceous. Come on, you guys. Am I the only one who knows how to fucking read?
There's a Q in there.
Sebaceous.
Yeah,
It's
there is
fucking
a Q in
silent.
there.
I don't know about that.
Sebaceous.
We're going to go with...
Sabaqueous.
Sebaceous. There you go. You're going to bake us some bread.
Yeah, you're going to fucking bake me some bread.
All right.
That was... Well, go ahead, Ray. Do you have notes on that one? 'Cause I have notes
I'll
on
give
it.
you what I took off of my original notes. So, let's go. Come on, phone. Stop being a fucking piece of shit slow bastard.
We're seeing fucking Jericho all skinny now when he's all bloated
I know,
and fucking
right?
chubby now. Good for him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still killing it, but...
Steve's picks. I put nice short track with some beautiful lead. Probably the highlight of the album for me. Is well placed, and I love the guitar work. This gets a big old fat 3.
I put more of an instrumental. This is my song, my notes from...
It had a little lyrics in there,
Yeah.
but it was short-lived.
I put more of an instrumental than a full song. Cool for what it is. Lots of great guitar work, but also compared to what has come before it, only being 3 minutes long, I would really sum it up as more of an interlude. It got a 2 1/4 for me because compared to everything else that came before this.
Yeah, I mean, at 3 minutes, it's definitely
2
more of an
1/4?
interlude. But this
Yeah.
is
If
kind
we
of
give it
where...
a 3, does that bump it into the...
I wouldn't do that.
No?
No, I
No?
wouldn't.
No.
All right.
Personally, just because it's really more of a
Interlude?
interlude than anything
Yeah,
else.
this isn't my favorite track on the album or anything, but this is kind of where it got put over the top for me with the guitar work and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, if it was a little bit, if it had maybe more lyrics, I don't know, or maybe a little bit more to the song, I probably would give it the bump, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't give that one the bump.
Alrighty.
So I can do what I did for his because I wrote them all track by track.
Yep.
You want to say what name of the album is?
Yeah, the artist is Worm. Name of the album is Forever Glade. Kind of a goofy name, but it makes sense.
Yeah, when you find out where they're from,
Yeah.
it fits perfectly.
Technically, this is also a one-man
Where are
band.
they from?
Florida.
All right.
The Everglades.
All right.
Technically, this is also a one-man band, but he had a lot of session work
Musicians.
done with this. Yeah.
Gotcha.
First track is Forever Glade, the intro. I'd even list it like that. I put low and slow and gloomy for an intro. Glad to see it have vocals and some pace changes. So they list it as an intro.
But it's a song.
It's a song, so I don't know why they listed it as intro. I was
Yeah, I don't
confused by
know.
that. But whatever. I mean, it's more of a song than it is anything else. But it's still not a full song. You can tell that there's still a lot of music. This is thick and has a lot of low end to it. Very murky production. Dig the groove that it picks up to. A little bit more than halfway. It is pretty slow. It's one of the slower tracks of the album because it's an intro, so it's not supposed to be much.
Yeah.
I give this a 2 1/4 also because to me it was a little slow.
Yep.
But I see where it goes after this, and then it goes from. Do you have notes on that song or no?
I kind of just didn't take notes.
All right, so
Well,
I'll
no.
go
I took
through.
notes on the full album, but I didn't score it on the tracks.
All right, so then track 2 is Murk Above the Dark Moor.
Yep.
The drum production so far in this is an early highlight for me. They have a booming quality like thunder moving off in the distance. Dig when it eventually picks up. Cool ride of a song. This song got a 2.8. The ending leads stepped it up a notch. There you go, Ray. I enjoyed some of the leads.
Actually, I think the production on this is like phenomenal. Other than the fact that it does need to be a little louder. The separation between instruments and stuff is great.
I agree.
It definitely needs to be a little bit louder.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, because I listened to his album first today. I listened to both of these and took like individual notes, and like his album where I had to turn it down a little bit. Yours wasn't loud enough.
Yeah.
Even at full volume, I would have liked it to be like a hair louder just to feel a little bit more of a boom. In my car, it's a little bit different. Like his feels out a little bit more in my car, and yours fucking
Same thing with my home system. This sounds tremendous on that.
Yeah.
In my car, it's a little bit low.
Yeah. But yeah, it's this song was an early highlight for me. I dig this song. I don't know. Ray will go through his notes in a second. Track 3, Cloaked in Night Winds. Dig the way the song opens with the eerie guitar notes ringing. The layered, haunting vocals help set a good atmosphere too. Now I'm getting some keys in the background. Song has some for sure surprises, and 11 plus minutes. It didn't feel as bad as I expected it to. I give this song a 2.6. It wasn't my favorite song, but it definitely had a lot of highlights.
Yeah.
It does start feeling a little long near the end.
Yeah.
But still, being that it's an 11-minute long song, I've definitely had to be subdued to worse. So it could have been a lot worse. Now we have Empire of the Necromancers. I love the ripping guitar work layered early on in this song. This one has a very big feel to it. This feels as big as
the best track on the album to me.
that's where I'm getting there.
Yeah.
This song has a fucking massive feel to it. Feels very arena rock. Like this, I said that about his album a lot, where you could see what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But because of the production, it got knocked down a peg because it's just so fucking like, you know, this. They figured that out. They figured out how to make this sound like a fucking full album. Like you hear everything going on in the background.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between the two of them. I also, let's see here, has a cool build up section into a faster pace part that hits well. The final 2 minutes brings it right underwater, meaning like the final 2 minutes of the song goes from like a nice high of a song to like it buries you like you're drowning.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's going to be uplifting at one point, and then it quickly becomes not uplifting. And this is by far the best song on the album. I gave this a 2.85.
Nice.
And then the next song is track 5, which is Subaqueous fucking Funeral, which probably has to do with water when you actually think about it like that. Now that I just read it that way, that's probably what that means. More of an instrumental. We already talked about that. And then Centuries of Ooze. This song slows the pace like way back down, even with a few cool changes. It's the most monotone song on the album for me. Makes sense for an ending track, but it also kind of brought the mood down just a little too low for me. Especially because it just had that ripping guitar solo song right before this. So I thought it was going to kind of go more of that way.
Yep.
Not a bad song, 2.4. You know, again, the two highlights on the album for me are Merc Above the Dark Moor and Empire of the Necromancers are like neck and neck for me.
Yep.
And then Cloaked in Night Winds was a nice highlight as well. Even though it's 11 minutes, it didn't feel like it.
Yep. What do you score it as a whole?
As a whole, I gave the whole album 2.6 because it is 6 full songs. Even with the 2 that are a little bit shorter that I'm not in love with, there's still full songs. And the 2 that are really good are fucking really good. Like, they're really, really big songs. Solid album. I like the production a lot. But the fucking production is what steals the show on this album because you hear everything.
We were
going
talking
on.
about a couple weeks ago. Well, last we did a show, Frozen Soul being cold.
Yeah.
And this sounds like humid and swampy. And
Ready? I'm not kidding. I have written here, had a way of making you feel dirty and sticky like being in a swamp. 2.6 as an album. Some good tunes on it. So, yeah,
nice.
exactly.
Everglades, there you go.
Yeah, so go ahead, Jay, whatever you have.
All right, I got Gloomy Doom Death album. Like the subtle guitar notes in the back of the heavy chaos. It's my notes for fucking the first song. Second track has like a bell and tambourine sound that makes it feel like Christmas in hell. The background atmosphere behind everything is oppressive. At times, some points, it disappears and completely making it heavier before bringing it back. Some well-placed lead and long-lived adds to the song, add some depth to the already strong track. Love the long, winding notes on the opening. The high, screeching growls blend well, don't feel too overpower the music. It's mixed well. Long track, though, so that's the 11-minute track that we got there. Dirty lead on the opening, so this is the Necromancer track, right?
Yep.
Which I probably will say is probably my favorite on this. Slow but catchy. Until about halfway through, and it picks it up a little. Nice short track with some beautiful lead. That's the Subaqueous, or whatever the fucking how you want to pronounce. I'm not even gonna try.
You said like 5 different versions, man.
Yeah, you definitely said it a couple more times. I'm pretty sure it's Subaqueous.
All right.
Yeah.
Or Subaqueous.
For a short track, it's probably the highlight on the album for me, just because of the lead.
Yeah.
I like the guitar work on it a lot, and the eerie long notes again win me over. With the closing track, very slow building. But in the end, it pays off with some soaring lead. I remember listening to this on my headphones at work. And the way the album ends, it leaves me wanting another track. So I'm going to give this a 2.75 overall.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, these I mean, I've known of them. They're kind of new to me. They put out an album maybe 2 years ago that was really good. And it was death metal like this. Not quite as atmospheric. But the album before that is like pure black metal, which is also good. I don't know if anyone's gone back.
I actually
and listened
haven't
to
heard that
anything.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting.
Is that
listen to
also
go
like a
back.
one-man project like before this?
The black metal was, I think the last two were completely one man, and
All right.
then this one he had session musicians.
Gotcha.
But yeah, good shit.
Cool.
I saw this one get brought up a couple of times too. in some
Yeah,
of
I've
this.
seen this on a lot of lists. I think I saw it on Banger a couple times.
I mean, my number one album is Kerrang's number one album of the year. No big deal. Not like that matters or anything. But and then nobody's heard of Uncle Doobies, so I'm just kidding. I'm sure it pops up on a bunch of lists. too.
I've seen it on one. I've
Yeah.
seen Every Time I Die on a couple.
Yeah. Bunch of fucking posers listen to that band. I mean, for sure, when you break the albums down, but all three are good. All three have highlights. All three have a couple lowlights, depending on what you're into.
Yep.
Like, you know, on my
I'm
head.
happy. I'm happy. My shit. All 5 of mine today made my list.
Oh yeah, I think you were the star of the show as far as
Damn.
picking out songs
I
today.
was surprised.
Yeah, you crushed it on your side. I'm the one that's the
The
outlier.
only
in this
song
one,
that didn't
just
make
throwing it out
my
there.
list, our list, I should say, was Take.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you mean through the whole 10?
Through the whole 10.
Yeah, I think you had 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I think I had 1 or 2 not make it last week, and then 1 or 2 this week.
Yep. Me, I think I have 6 total in.
That ain't
somewhere
bad,
around
though.
I you got to
I
understand
got a
something.
couple in that you didn't think were gonna get in.
No,
Yeah.
the one Turnstile for sure. I thought I was going fucking
We thought
0 for
Amigo
5
the
today.
Devil
To be
was
honest
gonna...
with
Amigo Devil.
you. No, I knew Amigo the Devil was
Yeah.
going to get in. Converge, I wasn't sure because I don't know what of that album you guys have listened to. So I
I've
figured
only
you'd
made
like
it
it, but
quarter way through that, so. But
that's
I like
later.
what I heard.
Yeah, that's later in the album too. I
Yeah.
think it's the second or third to last album. Last song rather.
I think I've heard every track, but I haven't listened to it as an album.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it is one that you need to just sit and fucking
Yeah.
go for. Where are we at right now? 2.5, little 240.
3, almost 3.5.
Woof! I didn't realize it was that long.
Bring out honorable mentions.
Do you want to add it to this, or do you want to do like
It's up
a?
to you.
Nah, maybe we can start it off that way next time.
You wanna
and
do that?
That way it gets its own thing, because by this time nobody wants to listen anymore.
Yeah, I get you.
Would you guys? How about this? Let's finish this one up. I do have an idea to throw out to you guys real quick, but we'll do that when we're done. So this finishes up the top 20 or top 10 albums of 2021. Here's what we'll do really quick to finish this show up. Let's go 10 through 1 right now. So if anybody misses last week's show, they can go back and listen to that too. So Ray, go through your 10 through 1. Just list the albums and the name of the band and the name of the album. I'll go, Steve goes, and then we'll wrap this one up. And then I have a quick idea for when we're done with the show. I mean, 3.5 hours, and I know that many people are going to be in it this far.
I gotta find that list on here real
The
quick.
few of you that did stick around this far, that got past my surviving COVID story,
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
not that bad.
thank you. Well, some people get offended by stupid shit, Ray. That's all. I don't think anything I said was offensive, but you never know, right?
Never don't know.
You never may not know.
All right.
Might say.
Yep. We worked with him at Sam's Club for a little while.
Did you?
Yeah, that's how I know him.
So my number 10 was Joint Hugger.
Yes, it was.
My number 9, which didn't make the list, was Take.
Okay.
My number 8 was Hell Slave.
Okay.
My number 7 was Cadaver and Elder.
Hell Slave, what's the name of the album?
Let me tell you that right now.
Ta-ta-ta.
That's tall.
Interesting.
From Sulfur Deaths.
I've seen that one pop up since you played it.
From the Sulfur Deaths.
The band in general.
Hell Slave.
Yeah.
Yep. So then you got the number 7, which is the Cadaver and Elder mix. So that's a double band doing a fucking joint album, which is Eldevar. That was my number 7. My number 6 was Earn, which was the one that you were kind of like, I don't know what to think of this.
Yeah.
Like I said, my number 5 today was Wolves and Haze, which replaced Unto Others, which was going to make my list, but because we kind of had a little bit of a break, I was like, it already made Ed's list, so let me just throw something different in there. So Wolves and Haze made my number 5. Number 4 was Fortress, which was that power metal, and number 3 was Spider God, and number 2 was Ioton, and my number 1 was Wilderness, however you want to pronounce it. There you go.
All right, number 10, I have Unto Others, which Ray just brought up. That album came in real late for me this year, but goddamn, I've listened to it a bunch in the last week and a half.
It's a good
actually.
album. It
I
is
love
a
that
good
album. The name of the album is called Strength. Go check it out. It's fucking amazing. Number 9 is Frozen Soul for me, which made me in Steve's list, as you were found out
Does
tonight.
that make it the official Three Dudes and Cold Brews album of the year since it's on 2 lists?
Is that the only album that made 2 lists?
I think
Which
so.
one was that?
Frozen Soul.
Frozen. If you guys want it, yeah.
You know why it's gonna? Because it's got no leads.
There you go.
So yeah, I would consider that being
That's fine.
the album of the year from us.
Yeah.
We've literally played most of the
Yeah,
album
most
now
of
at
it,
this
And
point.
there's stuff on it I like. I'm not gonna say I don't like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It just doesn't.
And it's got no leads. Number 8, Ice Nine Kills, Welcome to Horrorwood. That went over real well last week. Number 7, God's Hate self-titled album. I fucking love that album so much. It rips. Number 6, Enforced, Kill Grid. Go check that
That
shit
is a
out.
good album.
That album fucking rules.
Yep.
Really, really, really good crossover album. Number 5, Knocked Loose, A Tear in the Fabric of Life. Number 4, Amigo the Devil, which is Born Against, his new album, Born Against. Number 3, Turnstile. Their album is called Glow On. Number 2 is Converge / Chelsea Wolf, Blood Moon. Album's fucking amazing. It's a journey. Go check it out. Not something you can listen to every day, but good lord, is it brilliant. And then my number 1 is Every Time I Die, Radical. So there you go.
All right, my 10. Number 10, The Night Eternal, Moonlit Cross. Something that came into me at the end of the year, and I had to throw it on. I got a feeling it's going to climb a little as this year goes on. Number 9, War Flirch, Psychedelic Realms of Hell. Number 8,
good.
Dream Unending, Tide Turns Eternal. 7, Chemist, Deceiver. 6, Mortiferum, Preserved in Torment. 5, I originally had Wolves in the Throne Room, but I took that out and put Ustalost Before the Glinting Spell on Vests, whatever that means. Number 4, Gosudar, Morbid Despotic Ritual. Number 3, Wolf King, The Path of Wrath. Number 2, the Three Dudes and Cold Brews album of the year, Frozen Soul, Crypt of Ice. And number 1, Worm for Everglade.
Good stuff. I
That's it.
that definitely felt like a cop just drove
It's
by.
definitely a cop because he had his lights, his flashlight.
That or just some dickhead. Who knows? Hope this seems
Yeah, who
good.
knows?
So 3 definitely interesting lists, and then you'll get our honorable mentions discussion soon. We'll just say that.
Do we have to walk out
They
there
keep
if he
rolling in,
gets out
so
of
that's
his car?
probably a good thing.
This guy's thinking, is there a copper out there right now?
No, he probably just saw something going on. I would hear it if he would be fucking busting through the door if it was something going on. Might have been somebody dropping off food if they ordered food. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up. We'll see you soon.
Arrivederci, Pee Wee.